podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
What broke him down? Was it just the body punches? When I was hitting him with body punches, and I heard him, actually, he was crying in there.
I just want to say I got the hardest intro on TVV.
Hey Daddy, this a dollar beat.
Boxing Voice Radio, I'm your host, Nestor Gibbs, joined alongside Michael Gross, the boss.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
Yo, what up?
BoxingVoice.com. TVV for life. If you ain't on Patreon,
BoxingVoice.com.
I told Fury 2 years ago that I was going to baptize him. You know, rising up is part of the baptism.
Doesn't really matter what I say or what Wilder says. It all matters what happens on the night. I'm going to get that green belt. I'm also going to get the ring magazine. And I'm also going to keep my lineal championship.
BoxingVoice.com.
Make sure you push that thumbs up.
Can't remember a bigger heavyweight fight in a long time. Maybe Lennox Lewis versus Mike Tyson was the last big fight like this. That was the last US UK showdown.
That lineal bullshit, it ends there.
Hey Daddy, this a dollar beat.
BoxingVoice.com.
No matter what nobody say, man, straight, can't nobody fuck with me, man. You know, I can't be fucked with, you know.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
Whether you pay to see me win, or you pay to see me lose, you're gonna pay. Fuck it, your kids still gotta eat. I don't have to watch, you know, any footage of a fighter. I mean, because I'm Floyd Mayweather, everybody gotta watch me. I knew eventually I was gonna have to fight Oscar Nova. I feel like he was straight up and down, no special effects.
BoxingVoice.com.
How can Canelo have the biggest deal? Your deal is for 300 million, and I made 350 million just in one fight. And you're fighting on the app.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm a king, okay? I eat a feast. But every time I eat a feast. And when I get up from the table, I don't give a fuck who get the leftovers. At the end of the day, follow my green print.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
BoxingVoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing voice.
Good morning, TBV. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another morning edition. It is Fight Week. Good morning. We are back. We got some interviews scheduled for you, and we got some boxing celebrities. We got some boxing legends. We got the greats, and they all making their picks. It's Fight Week. Bronze Bomber, Gypsy King. It's going down. You already know the number to call in. Give your opinion. 1425-569-5241. Press 1 one time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget to add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation. Let's head on out to Indiana.
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
Windows count, 2 attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and miss, 2 to stand over. Turn up. Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million. And I'm in.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yo, what up, people? And shout out to everybody out there in the TBV universe, man. We back with another one. And yeah, man, like they said, man, some legends came out and gave their prediction on this fight and what they think is going to happen, you know what I'm saying? So we'll chop that down, get into it. But like Ned said, man, it's Fight Week. It's Wednesday, man. We're getting closer and closer to tomorrow. It's prediction day. Friday is the weigh-in. I'm guessing today is the open workout or maybe the press conference. So we're ready. We've seen Grand Arrival. We've seen Fury come and talk his shit. We seen Wilder come and yell out bomb squad, you know what I'm saying? So hey, I'm getting that feeling again. I'm getting that little jittery feeling, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's Fight Week, baby. What's going on, Ness?
What up? Man, just getting ready for these guests. trying to lock in, we got Abraham Supernova, top rank, 130-pound prospect. Just signed the Top Rank, just had his first fight with Top Rank and looked good on Top Rank. So then we got sports boxing exec Steven Marcano is going to be on the show. He is the equivalent of Steven Espinoza for Impact Television. So yeah, man, we got a jam-packed show. Plus this fight weekend, we got all these quotes from dozens of legends and greats in the sport giving their take. I mean, why don't you start us off so you can help me out and give everybody, I guess, from the top. What is it? Sugar Ray Leonard getting involved in? Sugar Ray Leonard getting involved in this one.
Yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard, the Hall of Famer. This is his quote. Wilder 112. I like Deontay Wilder to win, possibly by knockout, but in truth, I don't see either guy being knocked out. I think that Wilder not only has the power in his right hand, but that he also has improved in his ability to set it up. On the other hand, I know that Fury has excellent boxing abilities and tremendous chin from the way that he got up from the 2 knockdowns in the previous fight. In the end, I think that Wilder is always in shape and that he will use his speed and power to get the job done. So he really didn't give a description on how he thinks Wilder would get it done. He don't think either guy will be knocked out. And he think Wilder will win 12 rounds by decision. I don't think that's far-fetched, but I'm leaning more towards a knockout, you know what I'm saying? Listen to Fury, listen to Wilder, listen to Ness interview Sugar Hill Stewart. It seems like these guys playing for a knockout. I know they're just talking. They're not. It's mind control. It's whatever. What if it's not? What if it's not? What if Fury's plan is to go out there and try to back up the big right hand killer? You know what I'm saying? Can he throw that right hand backing up? That's what Fury's thinking. I think we all may need to start taking what Fury say a little bit serious. You know what I'm saying? Let's just see the first 2 rounds what he does. Does he get on his toes? Or does he sit down and try to pop forward? Ned said he seen Fury hurt Wilder in the last fight. I can't say all that. Maybe Wilder was buzzed a little bit, but hurt. Yeah, that's a strong word. So if he's able to do that, then you don't think with Sugar Hill, who trained a guy like Adonis Stevenson to throw that left hand with such power, he's not training Fury to do the same thing? I'm just making an observation. What about you, Ness?
You are not MG. You're Gross 1911. That's right. So I mean, what do I think? I think that, you said it already, bro. I don't believe the hype. Definitely not going to believe that my man's going for a knockout. You know what I mean? It's just hard for me to run with that when what you do best is what you do best. To change that, it doesn't make sense to me. So he's going to have to make me a believer. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it, bro. Damn, did I just fucking typo that wrong? I just typoed that wrong, bro. I just put that my man is on at 9:30.
Yeah, they can't see it though. But look, man, I know, man. I know we don't believe Fury, man. I know this guy, he talking about hookers and cocaine after the fight. I know all this, man. But I'm just still other belief, man. He's 6'9", he's 270. The guy is big as shit. I'm leaning towards Wilder for the knockout, but if Fury comes out there and plays that game and rolls them dice, we should have a motherfucking more entertaining fight than we had in the first one. All right, now we've got Jamel Herring, WBO junior lightweight champion of the world. A good supporter is Stone Bone Boxing, but Stone Bone might not like what he has to hear. Jamel Herring, Fury wins by majority decision.
What you know? What's up there? What's up, Bid? He Top Rank. And you know, I want to say this.
Go ahead.
Top Rank is intelligent with what they did. If you notice, they didn't go to no boxing legends. They went to their prospects. Like, man, get to know who Michaela Mayer is. Get to know who Jamel Herring is. Get to know who Xander Jaez is. Fuck a Sugar Ray Leonard and all them old farts. Get to remember these new dudes.
Don't fuck Sugar Ray. I mean, Sugar Ray now, man.
I mean, that's how they felt. I'm saying how they felt, not me.
Okay.
That's them, because why else would they go to they young? I get what they doing. It's promotion, but at the same time,
absolutely,
they steered away from the job, right? Like the job was boxing legend and celebrities. They like, fuck it, we gonna throw in our baby legends.
Jamel continues. If Fury can box the same way he boxed in the first fight without any scares, he can pull it off. On the flip side, it's hard to pick against Wilder, as he always looks more impressive in rematches. That is a true statement, you know what I'm saying? He does look better in rematches. And, man, look, bro, when you out here looking around, man, and you really, you know what I'm saying, about to make a bet, about to put in your wager, or about to have, you know what I'm saying, bragging rights over your friends, it's hard to go against Wilder, man, when you know at any given second of the fight, the shit can be over with, man, just like that. Just like that. So look, I feel Jamel, but I'm not rolling with his pick. Manny Pacquiao, Pac-Man. Wilder KO in 10. Never bet against a puncher. Look at Pacquiao. He showed keep that shit, huh? Particularly one like Deontay Wilder. I look at Wilder like I do at Mike Tyson. Any puncher. I see Wilder winning this rematch with Tyson Fury by a 10-round KO. He gave you the round. It's going to end in. Pac-Man gave you the round. Hey, I'm not going to sit out here, you know what I'm saying, and say I'm going to give you the round that it's going to be ending in, but I'm with Pacquiao, man. You don't bet against no puncher, man. Like I just said, it's hard when it's all said and done, when the deck is stacked up. It's hard to bet against a motherfucking guy like Deontay Wilder when Fury, you know what I'm saying, showed some vulnerabilities in the Oda Wallin fight. You know what I'm saying? We seen Wallin cut him. We seen Wallin stun him in like the 10th, 11th, 12th round, somewhere around there. So he's susceptible to getting hit and being hurt. We're going to Carl Frampton, you know what I'm saying, the Jackal. Former two-weight champion. Fury wins 12th round. That's not surprising. I think it's a very difficult fight to call. Fury won the last fight by a mile. But I think Wilder will be more aggressive this time, which may play into Fury's hands. Wilder can win by KO at any moment. Put a gun to my head, and I'd say Fury on points. It's crazy how motherfuckers can, like, in almost every little quote that I've read, like, yeah, man, I got Fury, man, but Wilder can win at any moment, man. You don't bet against the punches, all this kind of shit. It is hilarious, bro. Like, they want Fury to win, but they understand. They understand that this guy Deontay Wilder is not regular. You know what I'm saying? Is not somebody to be played with. And I think the only reason Carl Frampton is like actually picking him, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he's his countryman or something like that, you know what I'm saying? You case it together, they strong out here. We're going out to the Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Somebody that reminds me of Deontay Wilder, you know what I'm saying? Just because of the height and the power and the range that those guys have in their arsenal, you know what I'm saying? So I think guys like him, he reminds me of Deontay Wilder more so than a guy like Mike Tyson. But I digress. Wilder wins in 12 rounds. Deontay Wilder can box and win. But I think that his power will be the difference in defeating Tyson Fury. I believe that it will go to a decision again, but with Deontay Wilder winning it. But hey, man, hey. I gotta agree with Tommy Hearns. Like, look, man, like I know Ness went down there and asked Wilder, like, bro, why you don't stick to that? Why you don't do that man Stavern 1, man? Like, why you don't stick to that? And that's what Tommy Hearns is saying, like, bro, like, you have the ability to box a guy's head off and move around the ring. We've seen you not get tired. We seen, but you have great cardio. You know what I'm saying? Great stamina. You know what I'm saying? If Wilder just wanted to work that jab and work off that back foot like he did against the Vern, he could do that. But one thing Wilder told Ness that really, you know what I'm saying, stuck out. That shit is boring, bro. Like, I'm trying to go out there and demolish a motherfucker. And that's what we need in the heavyweight division. We don't need guys getting knocked out and coming back and boxing 12 rounds. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm just saying I get that, but Vlad did it in a safer way, and now Vlad out here still a dominant heavyweight. People still doing shows and articles every time he fought. You know what I mean? They wanna say what he said. They wondering if he coming back. They want him to come back. I mean, Dazn was offering homeboy $100 million deal. So, yo, Vlad did it. Vlad got legend status. Vlad was dominant for 10, 12 years. I don't see why Wilder can't do it. And he's younger. He could do the jab more because Vlad was born. Wilder don't got to be born. He can mix it in with the left hooks here and there and maybe get the job done sooner. But, you know, he's got to – you got to play it safe, bro. Your life is on the line. Your pay grade's on the line. You know, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, just for sheer entertainment. Like, this is a competition. It's not who wins the prettiest. It's who gets the win.
Yeah. That's totally understandable. But, you know what I'm saying? Like what I always said, he wants to do it in dramatic fashion. Let's go to Micaiah Mayer, you know what I'm saying? The up-and-coming woman prospect, super featherweight. Fury by decision. I believe Fury is who the hell is writing these quotes?
I know who's taking these quotes. Fury is the better boxer, but I believe she said I believe Fury is the better boxer and smart enough to make the adjustments needed from the last fight. If he can avoid a bomb from the Bronze Bomber, I think he will win on the scorecards. So everybody's saying the same thing. Well, if Wilder don't hit him, well, Fury should win. And that's Wilder's fault because he got them thinking that all he is a puncher. You know, I had to have that argument in the gym. It's like, man, he ain't good. He just got power. He black. And it's like, bruh, how you not good? You medaled up. How you not good? You the world champ. How you not good? You defending your belt. People tend to say things like that till they in there with you, you know? In any sport. Outside looking in is always easier.
Remember what Brazil told you at Barclays Center? Guys, terrible.
Exactly. And I went at it with Brazil, like, bro, how you gonna say that when he won a world title? You haven't. You know what I mean? This is your second opportunity, and you failing at that twice already. So, but you know, I don't get people. You know what I mean? Like, I can't talk about Akin Barak. I can't talk about Mike and Joe Rogan. Like, they where I want to be. How the fuck I'm going to say they bums if they there? They made it before me. You know what I'm saying? Like, people crazy in this world.
That's how the way the world is, bro. You call somebody bums and you throw rocks at them, and a couple months later, you got on the same level as them, man. People recognize that, I guess people recognize hatred, bro. I don't fucking know.
Bruh. Who said it? You shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house.
You got a glass jar, you should watch your mouth
because I'll break your face. What's that, 50, right?
Yeah, it's 50. That's the old 52. Evander Holyfield, Hall of Famer. He says Wilder wins 12-round decision. I'm picking Deontay. Wilder based on his...
Nah, come on. You got a better impression than that. You know you got to give me that southern accent. Hold on, let me see if I remember it, because I wish I could hear it and I'll have it. Where you go? All right. I says Wilder by 12. I'm picking Deontay Wilder based on his confidence. And I mean the fact that I'm picking Deontay Wilder on the fact that he does all the right things to remain in great shape. That man's in great shape. Nah, I'm doing it wrong. I need to listen to him a little bit more. I swear, when
you acting pretty good because he does like repeat himself. You know what I'm saying?
He loves saying, I says.
Big up to Brandon, man. Great interview with you.
Yo, shout out to TBV, man. All y'all haters. Wow. These is your favorite fighters I get to hang out with, man, and rub elbows, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Shape too. He also says Wilder not just a big guy with a right hand, but he also becomes more calculated in his approach. That's why I'm picking him to win the second fight against Tyson Fury. I can't agree with that, man. We've seen that him calculating against Luis Ortiz. I know he lost a lot of rounds, but at the end of the day, his calculations were right. You know what I'm
saying? Mike almost sounded like Wilder. Right? He was like, calculations almost. He about to throw into the calculate. Yo, Wilder was going ham on the calculate. Yo, oh man, bro, that Michael is Conlon. My dude. Yo, see what I'm saying? What the hell is Michael Conlon doing giving his opinion?
Not only that, how the hell is he WBO #1 featherweight contender?
Bruh, and that's what I'm saying. No, they got to dress it up pretty. Like you said, #1 contender. But
he beat though, man.
He not even a champ. Bruh, you know how the WBO do?
Bro, Michael Conlon ain't beat nobody from nowhere, bro.
He don't got to. He don't got to. The sanctioning fee for Irish versus somebody else in Madison Square Garden gonna be crazy. They want that check. They want some of that check, man. But yeah, Michael Conlon went on to say, Fury by decision. He needs to be even more careful this time. But he looks like he's put on some serious work and is ready to finish what he started. They are terrible. They did not proofread this. Who is doing this? Damn. This is a press release.
I didn't put those words in my own quotes, you know what I'm saying? I'm turning this shit into my quotes mixed up with some
they did poor job. Poor job. They probably used it like a transcriber, an automated transcriber or something because it's missing way too many words.
Did you see Sean Porter new car that he got?
Oh hell yeah! That green Panamera.
Yeah, he was like, man, I told him to put the black down a little bit, man, and let it blend in. Look at Sean, man. Yeah. I love seeing that, bro. I love seeing guys, you know what I'm saying, and enjoy the fruits of their labor.
I remember people used to be like, yo, man, Ken don't let his son talk for himself, man. Yo, Ken this, Ken that. I see Ken did a great job. Sean is rich, got the Panamera, and he got the beautiful wife. So he got the show. And on all these quotes, his is the longest. So let me start now so I can finish.
I was gonna say that, but it is a little bit longer.
Keith Thurman is 3 paragraphs. Yeah, my boy could talk. Wait. Sean is 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. Damn, Sean, mouthful. Let me zoom in on this just a bit. Sean Porter, former 2-time world welterweight champion. Wilder by KO. I have not had this hard of a time picking a winner of a fight after dissecting every component in a very long time. I honestly believe that this fight right here will seal both of their legacies. This is a 50-50 fight for several reasons. Deontay Wilder will be much more patient and freer from the anxiety he had trying to put on a big show in the first fight. Tyson Fury is now 2 years from depression, 2 fights from retirement. He came out to fight Wilder. Fury has changed trainers in order to take the fight to Wilder and win by KO. Fury still has his speed and quickness, while Wilder is still powerful and more confident. It's going to be a great fight. It's razor thin until the end. I'm picking Wilder by KO, Fury by points, or Fury by KO. This is a 50-50 fight. I said it on Inside PBC a couple of weeks ago that Wilder wins by KO, but I'm picking the fans to win. I mean, he picked everything, basically, my man, but okay. And the 17-year-old Xander Zayas. Do you pronounce the Z or is it Yayas?
Xander.
Oh, so you don't pronounce the Z. Okay.
That's why I heard him say it.
All right. So Fury by decision. He will outbox Wilder and make the necessary adjustments. It will essentially be a repeat of the first fight, only more convincingly. Ooh, that hurt.
Hey, man, like you said, man, top rank. Man, he was top rank. Let's go back to Larry Holmes. You know what I'm saying? Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Wilder, KO, round 7 through 8. Deontay Wilder would knock out Tyson Fury in the 7th or 8th round if he does what I know that he can do, which is stay on the outside, use his jab, throw that right hand over the jab. All right. Like
he want him to box like me.
Yeah. Colin Cloud. Who the hell is this guy? Limitless at the Mirage. I have no idea what Limitless is or none of that, but they interview him. I predict Wilder will win by a knockout in the first 3 rounds. I further predict Tyson will get in the zone, listen to some classic Jay-Z, whereas Wilder will be listening to Taylor Swift Love album because ultimately he is both a lover and a fighter. I guess he's trying to be funny right there, man. Adam Kownacki, undefeated heavyweight contender. Wilder knockout in 7 rounds. I'm going Deontay Wilder in it, and I think it's going to be a knockout in round 7. I think it will be a rematch similar to the one with Luis Ortiz, whom he stopped in the 10th round after the first time and in the 7th round after the second time. Wilder will be patient, waiting for his opening, and then he will deliver. I think Wilder lands a big right hand, and that this time Fury does not get up.
That's
and we
funny.
got Robert Garcia, trainer of who? Mikey Garcia, who's fighting on February 28th down in Dallas, Texas, you know what I'm saying, over in Frisco. He's fighting.
Mike, let me interrupt real quick. Looks like we got our first guest, Abraham Supernova. Abraham, how are you, man? Good morning. First and foremost, congratulations on your recent win and your big signing with Top Rank. Happy New Year. How are you, brother?
Well, that's a lot to take in, but good morning. I'm feeling good and excited to be on the show.
All right, man. So tell us, man, what's new since signing and obviously performing in front of the Top Rank eyes. How did they receive your win?
No, it was a good experience. Being on that platform at that stage level. It was a lot to take in, but it was good. I received a lot of love and a lot of respect from the Top Rank family. They treated me very well and they like me as a fighter a lot.
What's going on, Abraham? Michael Gross here, man. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mike.
I see you coming off a win in January. How soon do you want to be back in the ring doing your thing?
Yeah, I just got off a win in January 18th. It was a 4th round knockout. Now I just got the call yesterday, and I'm back April 17th on ESPN Plus once again. I think it's going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma, but I'm not sure yet about the location.
All right, so you got the call yesterday. They give you any kind of list of opponents, you know what I'm saying, that you possibly be fighting, and if so, would you like to share it?
Yeah, they gave me one name, some Mexican kid, 18-2. He's never been knocked out. I think he fought for a world title. He lost, but he's a very tough opponent, and I said yes to him. The first name they gave me is the first name I took.
How do you feel about being able to have this type of level of activity? Like you just fought not too long ago. Now you already know your next date. It has to be a good feeling.
Yeah, it's a good feeling to stay active. It keeps me ready going. It keeps me in the gym so I don't fall out of shape completely. And it's a good way to keep my timing right and my boxing IQ on point. So I'm really happy that they got me active and they keeping me on the ball game.
So do you ever? I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it. Go for it.
I was gonna ask, do you ever like pinch yourself because 10, 15 years ago, man, a guy who was coming up normally didn't get a lot of TV exposure. Now with Dazn and ESPN Plus and ESPN and Fox and Showtime, it's boxing just everywhere. Do you ever just like pinch yourself and like, man, like, bruh, I'm fighting on TV regularly?
Yeah, it's funny you say that, but it's like me coming up in my career. Yeah, I barely got any TV shine. I got some NBC shine on my second pro fight, and then I got some UFC Fight Pass. But now fighting on these bigger platforms, I'm really happy that that I get to get more viewers around the world, especially on ESPN, because it's very known and very has a lot of like knowledge on it. So I'm really happy to be fighting on that platform.
So just to double on your excitement and being happy that things are going the right way, talk to me a little bit about landing with Top Rank after leaving Al Heyman. That had to be a scary feeling. We've seen people like Andre Durrell leave Al and end up coming back. I've seen others that leave Al that don't end up fighting or getting television contract deals. Like the fact that you were able to, part ways with him and still get another big time contract is very impressive to me. I just want to hear from your own words what that feels like and what was going through your mind in the interim time when you were not with Top Rank.
Also, being with Al, Al, he got me on TV. He had me fighting, but it came to a point where Al couldn't give me the number of fights that I had signing my contract. So we parted ways in the most respectful way. He understood me, I understood him. That went off, and then from there on it was a little bit tough trying to get another a good promotion deal that was gonna give me the same amount of fights. So I went dolo. I had some money up. I paid for my opponents. I went place to place. I met different promoters. I met Ken Casey from Murphy Boxing. I met Alvin Akir from 12 Rounds Promotions. They helped me out in the middle of my career to navigate. And then we got together, and then I got along with my management team, split team management with David McWater and Timmy Van Newhouse, and then I sat down with them and my other promoters and let them know that I wanna be in a bigger platform because I need the world to see the talent that I have. Me fighting these local shows, the world's not gonna really know who is Supernova, and they all agree. So we got together and we reached out to Top Rank. Well, actually, before us reaching out to Top Rank, they had called me. They had Timmy Van Newhouse and Dave McWater had set me up to go spar with Teofimo Lopez. And when Top Rank, when the scouts came in and they saw me sparring with Teofimo Lopez, they were like, "Hey, we need this kid." And that's how it all came together. After they watched me spar, they got in touch with my promoters. They got in touch with my management, and from there on, sky was the limit. Now, I'm officially signed with Top Rank.
Just to be clear, you're with Split T and Dave McWaters as well, right?
Yes, that's my management.
Very good management team there, man. They're doing some big things and have a lot of big up-and-coming names like Teofimo, Sonny Canto. I mean, so many. Let me turn you over to my co-host who has something for you.
Yeah, I was going to ask about Split T too, but I want to get back to the division that you're in. At 130, Top Rank has Oscar Valdez, has Miguel Bachil, has Jamel Herring. How soon is it that you want to get in the ring and compete with these guys?
This year, I told them, I'm here to fight for a world title. I'm here to fight the best. Throw me any one of them, Miguel Burchell, Jamal Herring, Oscar Valdez, any names they have, I say, hey, shoot them at me, and I want to fight them. So they know that I'm ready to fight the best fighters they have. Now it's up to the fighters to accept the fight. But I'm here willing to fight any of them at any time.
So, are you still with Hector Bermudez?
Yes.
Oh, good. Because I hear that I was talking to Heck the other day. He says that Javier is no longer with him, which sucks. He's been with Javier for a while.
Yeah, he's been with Javier for a while, but they parted ways. Do not because of Fortuna wanted to, but other reasons, and Fortuna's promotional contract that they have to part ways. But I believe so that Fortuna and Hector are still close.
Yeah, man. Hopefully he does well without Hector, and maybe they could get back together. Again, can you give me your 2020 fight plan? You got this April date. What sort of name are you looking to have? Obviously, 2020 isn't a title shot run. I wouldn't assume, but when do you think you're ready for like a Jason Sosa or Johnny Gonzalez?
I'm ready for those guys at any time. I got this fight coming up, and then I should have two more fights by the end of the year. If they want to throw them in the mix, throw them in the mix. But I told them I want to fight for a world title this year. So if my next fight will be a title eliminator against one of those guys, and I fight the champion, then so be it. But they know I'm not ducking or dodging no one. I'm here for a reason, to fight the best, to be considered as the best. And in order to do that, I gotta fight the best. Well, I gotta fight anyone that's in my way.
Wow, world title shot in 2020. You don't think that's a bit of a rush? I mean, you were just speaking about, inactivity. Now you got this contract deal. You got 4 fights this year. You might as well get that activity and look for a title shot in 2021. And if you're stuck on a title shot in 2020, what sanctioning body are you looking at?
To clear it up, I haven't been inactive at all. If you notice, last year I fought, I think 3 times. The year before I fought 5 times. So I've been active. I've been fighting all around. I have 18 fights, and I've been a pro for 3 years and a half. So I've been active. That's why I feel like I'm ready for a title shot. I've done fought 10 rounds back to back. I've done fought some good opponents. Now I want to get a title eliminator with a good guy, so the world can really see how good I am, and then get for world title. But I'm ranked number 6 by the WBO, and I'm ranked number 5 or 6 again by the WBA. So I'm in the rankings, and I'm ready to look for that title shot in 2020. I feel like I'm ready. My team feel like I'm ready. My management team feel like I'm ready, and everybody's agreeing that it's my time to shine.
Mr. Abraham, for those who don't know, how would you describe your fighting style? Like what is your biggest attribute you think when you're inside of the ring?
I feel my biggest attribute, a lot of people don't see, but it's my speed. A lot of people consider me as a power puncher, because I knock a lot of people out. But I have great speed. I have a great boxing IQ. I could really fight in the inside. I could fight in the outside. Wherever I need to fight, I could fight. I could adjust very well to any opponent. So I consider myself a boxer puncher. I just feel like I have the best of both worlds. I have great skills, great speed, and great power, especially for my weight class.
What was in your last fight? What was the thought behind having the blonde beard?
Well, the blonde beard, I've been doing it for a while now. I think I've been doing it for 2 years now. It started the whole purpose was that it came from was from the Puerto Rican national baseball team, where they all dye their beard blonde to stay in unity on the hurricane that happened in Puerto Rico, and me being born in Puerto Rico to Dominican parents, that's part of my culture. I decided to rock the blonde beard to also represent and support the tragedy that happened in Puerto Rico, and then from there on, sky was the limit. So I got a lot of I got a lot of good feedback from it. I got a lot of exposure, and it was a great way to market myself. So I will rock that blonde beard all the way. I believe all the way throughout my career.
Wait. All this time I've been seeing the Puerto Rican flag and the Dominican flag. I'm thinking it's like my son. I'm Dominican, but my son's mother is Puerto Rican. So you're like, from what I'm understanding, it seems like you're exactly like Thomas Delorme. Both parents Dominican, just born in a different country, right? Like that's what you're saying?
Indeed. I was born in Puerto Rico. My parents are Dominican, but my grandfather is actually Puerto Rican. So that's why I go based on where you're born, because if we're going based on where your parents is born, then it doesn't really work that way, because then my grandparents was born somewhere else, and then my great parents born somewhere else. So I go based on where you was born. So I was born in Puerto Rico. My parents were born in Dominican Republic, but my grandparents from my father's side was born in Puerto Rico, and their grandparents were from Spain. So that's how the list going. Then my mother's side, they're African, so that's why I'm dark skinned. I got that mix.
I was just about to say, is your father from like San Pedro? Cause you dark.
No, my father, I'm dark from my mother's side. My mom is from the capital, from Mina, but my dad, he's from he's light skinned. My dad, he's from you're right, San Pedro Macorís.
Oh, nice. That's where my dad is from. Yeah. So, Lomina, la capital. So, do you visit DR and PR?
A lot. I went to PR, I could say last year twice, into DR, I went 3 times.
Let me ask you, I know that maybe I'm dreaming here with this because you guys are not, you both just are starting to be popular now, but when you go back, do you hang out or visit Jason Rosario, maybe I don't know, Fortuna? Obviously, I'm sure you visited Fortuna, being a stablemate of his at one point. But any other Dominican boxers that you visit when you're in the country?
All of them. I've trained out there. I trained with Jason Rosario, Carlos Adames, Felix Diaz. Of course, with Fortuna and Jonathan Guzman. The list goes on. I trained with them. I chilled out with them. I partied with them. I had great moments and memories with them out there in DR.
That's what's up, man. Because I ask a lot of people and they're like, nah, I never really met him, or nah, I haven't had a chance to talk to him. But that's what's up, that you linked up with all those guys.
Hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
My guy Ness, know what I'm saying? He's been telling Mike, you got to go to DR. You got to get to DR.
Oh, yes.
Now. You said you've been partying with these guys.
Yes.
What the party's like in
Indeed.
DR, man? For somebody who don't know.
No, they're amazing.
It's a different vibe. It depends. We have parties outside. We have parties at gas stations. Then we have parties in the club. It's all with cars, loud music, big speakers outside. Everybody having a good time. Or you in a club like any regular club. You're in a club having fun. Doing it up with boys and girls.
Abraham, they'll never understand like the party at the gas station. I didn't understand that because I'm like you. I was born in America. You know what I mean? So I had to get older, start traveling, and really adapt to the culture. And they're like, no, vamos para la fiesta en la bomba. And it's like, the gas station, bruh. Come on, man. I got my sneakers and shit. I don't want to go to get to that gas station. Damn.
Indeed.
It's crazy.
Indeed.
Yo, so
they would never understand the parties in the gas station.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
Until they witness it.
And then they don't want to leave.
Indeed.
So listen, I had Jason Rosario on the show not too long ago, man, and I asked him this very same question. If you ever get big enough, let's say you beat Teofimo Lopez, and because obviously a lot of people are picking him to beat Vasil, right? So you take the throne from him. Do you ever envision holding a fight in DR, or do you just believe the economics will never be good enough to have a fight of that magnitude, or or a championship level fight back in the Dominican Republic?
That's a tough question. But I feel like if I'm in that stage, I'll be able to control where I want to fight. So I feel like I'll be able to make that happen. I feel like it won't be something that it will happen like regularly, but I can make that happen once or twice. I believe if I'm at that magnitude, I'll be able to make that happen.
Yeah, man. I would really love to see maybe a fight back at the Coliseum over there. I don't know how many it holds, but I know that they've held some big baseball games there. So, yeah, I mean, I think the Dominicans will come out, man, for their own too. And you see every other nationality try to go home. I mean, Dennis Hogan got to fight with Jaime in Mexico, and Mexico and DR's economy, I guess they're definitely different, but they're not too far apart, I would hope. But what are your goals, man? What got you into boxing, and what are you trying to get out of it?
Well, what got me into boxing was a family friend. He I consider him like an uncle to me. He got me. I started sparring my sister at a young age in the living room. Probably I was like 5, 6 years old. But that wasn't. I was not. It was nothing serious. When I really started was I had like a group of friends going to the gym, and they were like the cool kids, and I wanted to see what they were doing, and I saw they went to the gym, so I just followed them. I got in the gym. I tried to act like I could fight. They threw me in the ring. They said, "Hey, you gonna spar?" I spar. I got my ass. I got my butt kicked. I got myself. They gave it to me. So, they expected me to quit and not come back. So, I was like, I'm gonna prove y'all wrong. I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna keep coming back. And if I came back, they threw me in the ring again. I got beat up, and I kept coming back, but I was acting like a punching bag. They kept beating me up. But I started learning the game. I started getting nice. I started learning my craft. I started getting real good. So now they was acknowledging me. They was looking at me, and it was always me. I wanted to be part of the cool kids, because that's what they was doing. I was 12 years old, and after I got my hands nice, after that, like the first month, 4 weeks in, I got my first fight. I won, and then overall, right there, that's where the ball game. I kept fighting. I kept winning. I ended up started being the man in the gym. I started being everybody up. I started being everybody up in sparring, and now I'm here. I am. I'm a great fighter, and the sky's the limit. And another reason why I chose boxing because I played a lot of different sports. I played baseball. I played football. And I ain't gonna lie, but I was a beast. I was really really good at both sports. But a lot of times when you play in a team sport, you got to rely on your teammates. So they can help you to get the job done. You could play your part, but if they don't get the job done, you could still catch that L. Where I didn't like that. So boxing, in boxing, it was an individual sport where I didn't have to rely on the team. Where I know it's up to me to get the job done. So that was another reason why I stuck with boxing and left those other sports. I left them alone.
I only have one more question for you. I want to know, how did you get the name Supernova? Like, who came up with that?
That name was actually, it was before I boxed. We has been calling ourselves Supernovas because our last name is Novas, and one thing about my family, we have a lot of pride in what we do. And, we consider ourselves, and anything we do at work or whatever, it's 10 of us. We consider us to be the best. So Supernova was a great way just to to create that name and make us feel empowered. So that name, before I boxed, we already had it. We already been using it. We've been running with it, and it's a great way to add it on onto my boxing nickname, Supernova.
All right, Abraham, we got a few questions from the people. I'm going to go to Bo in Alabama. It says, are you interested in a boxing game coming out on either Xbox or PlayStation? If you were approached by the creator, would you allow them to add you to the game?
Of course, yes. That would be awesome if they'll allow me in the game. I already have a couple players create some UFC fighters under my name on UFC. So, to be down in boxing, that will be even better. I'll definitely love that.
We got Brandon in Cincinnati that says, you ever get any work with Amir Iman?
Yes, I did. And me and Amir Iman, we grew up together. We trained. We started together. Well, he started before me, and then I started. We started together boxing. He was one of my main sparring partners. Me growing up in my amateur career, me and him, we done millions of rounds. He, thanks to him, he helped me as a fighter, who I am today. And he's a bro. Me and him, we still in contact. We stay talking and whatnot. I know he's fighting this Saturday. A lot of wishes and good luck to the bro. Do your thing, and yeah, that's my boy.
Where did you guys get the work in Orlando or in Florida? Because I know he's been in Florida for a while, or was this somewhere else?
For a while, but in his amateur career, me and him grew up in Albany, New York. We had the same coach growing up. We started at the same gym. So, throughout his amateur career and my amateur career, we trained together, and we were teammates throughout the whole time until he turned pro. Then he went to Miami, and then when I turned pro, I went to Boston.
Crazy how life is. Now you both end up on Top Rank. He just signed a Top Rank not too long ago as well, right?
Yes. It's crazy how it's the thing going on in our city. Everybody's talking about how the two best fighters from my area, I signed to the same promotion.
Yeah, man. We got another one coming for you in the 504 New Orleans. Rue says, any plans to mix it up with the Top Rank stable in your weight class? You kind of answered that already. You said you want a world title shot, and both of those guys are champions from Top Rank, Teofimo and Jamel. So next one is from Israel Rebber. Oh, yeah, it's 135.
Teofimo's not in my weight class.
Yeah, he's 135.
Yeah, I'm at 130, so yeah. I'm Miguel Burchell or Jamal Herman. Those are the 130 champions. Yeah.
And just to be clear, you want both of those eventually the end of the year.
Both of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Israel Weber in Oklahoma says, thanks for coming on TBV. Can you refresh me on the potential fight in Tulsa, date, your opponent, etc.?
The date is April 17th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The opponent is 18. He's 18-2 with 13 knockouts. With one draw. He's a good fighter. He's never been knocked out. His last fight he lost a unanimous decision against an Olympian. But I know he's a good fighter. He's tough. He beat some good fighters with good records. He knocked out a dude I think was 19-1, another dude that was 17-2, and he beat another kid that was 12-0 recently. So he's a good fighter. He has a good record. I'm up for the test to give him another loss.
All right, last one before we let you go. Coming from Matt Bent, he says, do you see this as the year of the Dominican fighters?
Actually, yeah, I do see this as the Dominican fighters. After what Jason Rosario just did, being a unified champion, then we got Fortuna fighting Luke Campbell for the WBC world title. Me and myself, being half Dominican, half Puerto Rican, coming up in the game. Also, we got Michel La Zarza. He had a great victory on Fox Sports.
Bro, he looked good.
A lot of more fighters. Yeah, he looked real good. He looked real good, and a lot of more Dominican fighters are coming to the big spotlight and doing great things. Also, my the stablemate Jonathan Guzman. Also, he had a nice victory January 18th. So yeah, I feel like this will be the year for the Dominican fighters to be on. Yeah, to be on board and collect great wins and have more world champions representing the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, Guzman was a former champ. He held the IBF not too long ago, right?
Yes, he was a former champion. He had some inactivity, but now he's back. He's back in the mix. He got his visa fixed, and he'll be fighting soon. I think he'll be fighting the same card I'll be fighting the 17th. So he's back in the mix, and you can expect big things from him.
Well, Abraham, man, I want to thank you, obviously, for your time. If you could give out your social media for anyone who isn't following you can do so, but we do appreciate you coming on the show. We want to continue to follow you closely, and once those press releases are out and your fight's official with name and opponent, we would definitely love to get you back on.
Yes, of course. Thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure speaking with you and speaking with Mike. Shout out to everybody for tuning in and listening. Big shout out to That Boxing Voice, and you guys can follow me on my social medias on my Instagram at Abraham Nova 22. That's also my Twitter, Abraham Nova 22, and on Facebook you can follow me at Supernova TV.
Best of luck to you, man. We'll be watching, man, to see if we can say in the new.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Later on this year.
I mean, hey,
Yes.
you already
Yes,
said it.
yes,
It's the
yes.
year of the Dominican, so the end of 2020, you should get that belt, man. But thank you again. Appreciate your time, and enjoy the rest of your day. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Abraham Supernova. Interesting, man. Look, I think we interviewed him once before, and I never knew that he was, parents both 100%. I always thought it was like my son, one and one because of the emojis. I've always been seeing the emojis. I'm like, okay, 1 and 1. But just like Thomas Delorme's both parents are Dominican, but he is born in St. Martin. That's a country, island, whatever you want to call it, that I really want to visit. They have beautiful, beautiful beaches. Let me see, did we get any word back on our second guest?
Yeah. Say what time?
Did I put 10:30? 10 a.m. 10 a.m.
I always thought it's smart for like people to like do that. You know what I'm saying? If parents are like born in Dominican Republic, have your son or daughter in Puerto Rico.
Yes, because you're automatically a citizen.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
but it's not as easy as it sounds though. Because if the parents aren't citizens, how'd they get the PR? To get the PR, you need to have a passport. It's America.
Oh, for real?
Hell yeah. That's why you could go to PR, Mike, with just a license. You don't need a passport. Great. You don't need a passport to fly to PR. Just your driver's license or motor vehicle ID.
But I thought they're like right beside each other.
They are. I told you when I was living that life, I used to want to always drive my car, not drive it, but take it to PR and then have it shipped in boat to DR. But the ferry goes back and forth, but it's gotten a lot more difficult, obviously, because of drug trafficking.
How long is the ferry ride?
Man, like 2 hours on it.
Oh wow, okay, wow,
Yeah.
okay. I thought it was like 15 minutes or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Right beside each other. Like that. All right, well, 2 hours.
It's right there. I don't think 2 hours is bad, man, because I've been on catamarans. Like, you go to those, let's say you go to DR, then you could catch a catamaran to like a little baby secluded island that no one lives on, that they just come to let, you just go there to swim and snorkel. And, bro, that shit takes long, yo. Traveling on water is longer. It's longer, man.
Yeah, traveling on water. Them motherfuckers, pilgrims took 6 months to get from England to America.
Man,
so
I don't like that. I don't like that. That's why I've never done a cruise, and the fact that, I told you already, man, if you're a smoker, you don't want to do a cruise, bro.
I seen cruise ships to where them motherfuckers are huge, though. I'm like, ain't no weed on that motherfucker? Like, ain't a drop on that thing?
Well, listen, I'm sure there's people out there, because that's why those articles are written. There's always going to be people out there that try, and then they get they room checked up, and then it's over for them. So we're just waiting on our next guest to call, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and take some calls, open up these phone lines up.
One more of these things. Let me pick the best one. We got Keith Thurman, Michael Garcia.
I mean, you got to go to Keith. He was a two-time.
They got power too, though,
he was the first unified champ in the welterweight division from all the young crop. Like, you can never take that away. He beat Danny. He beat Danny first, and he beat Sean after Kel. Shit.
Keith Thurman says, Wilder by KO. I'm going with Deontay, who is one of the most dangerous punchers in boxing history. There is something about the first time that you step into the ring with an opponent, I've never seen you never seen me before. But the fact is, Wilder now knows the movement, the speed, and the tactics that Fury has. But of course, Fury has the ability to dance, move around the ring, and change it up. But as long as Wilder can keep up and move with him, I believe that he will do what he does best. I believe that Wilder can end the fight at any moment, aiming that right hand straight down the pipe, which he had just about did in the last fight. It's a tremendous event. I missed the first fight, but I will be present at this one. in another great heavyweight rivalry, Team Bomb Squad. So big ups to Keith Thurman, you know what I'm saying? Recognizing the star when he see one. Jamal Charlo, middleweight champion of the world, says Wilder KO in 10. Wilder by knockout in the 10th over Tyson Fury. Deontay has to establish the jab early to get close and then crank that right hand repeatedly.
Mike, let me interrupt you. We have Steven Marcano live on the line. I want to thank you first and foremost for taking out the time to come on a Boxing Voice, talk some boxing, and Happy New Year, and congratulations on this Impact Network deal. As a boxing fan, I am very happy for yourself and Austin Trout, even Big Zoe Alonzo Butler. I mean, I've been in camp with him with Wilder, and I'm very happy to see him get an opportunity, and very happy to see you bringing more boxing for the boxing fan, man. So I know that was a big introduction, but thank you again.
Man, thank you guys for having me. Boxing Voice is incredible. I follow you guys on Instagram, and I follow your posts all the time.
So I guess first things first, I can see headlines when I Google your name of a TV producer, business mogul, some pretty powerful words, man. Can you give my listeners a little bio on you? Just give us, I don't know, I don't want to say resume, but yeah, right? Because I'm telling everyone we're having the equivalent of Steven Espinoza for Impact Network, but I know that you're so much more than just this deal with Impact.
Well, you know, we did the TV show Knockout with Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather Sr. for 3 years on Fuse and Azteca. And that did pretty decent, and numbers was good. And besides that, I, you know, did a few deals back in the days with WWE and Don King, and started a couple of businesses. And they went good. I mean, everything went good. So I really don't get into too much what people write about me. I just try to keep figuring out what's the next thing to do. And right now, the next smart thing to do for me is Impact. We're going to do a multimedia company over there. So it's not just a boxing promoter, like you said. It's just not what Showtime does and Steven Espinoza and them. I respect them. They're really good at what they do. But they have one revenue stream. What they do is they put on boxing events. And in the boxing events, you have your live tickets, you have your advertising and your sponsorship, and you have, which is generated by your viewership, and you have the gate. What we do is a little different. We put on live events surrounded by reality television shows, podcasts, you know, pop-up stores for the day for merchandising, not only on the fighters, but on the brand Impact. So, you know, we're trying to do things that have multi-revenue streams for the fighters, multi-revenue streams for the network, so we don't get to a point where we find ourselves having to cut back on dates because, you know, we overspent the budget, or, you know, or it's just not financially sound for the network. So we're just trying to do a lot more than most promoters do.
How's it going? My name is Michael Gross. Pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure to be here.
My first question is, what's the overall goal for Impact Network? I heard you say that we got multimedia. So is it to make sure that every section of the multimedia is able to stand on its own, or is it to make sure that you're just giving the best product out there to the fans?
That's you answered both the questions. Definitely, both. Every division has to stand on its own financially, and it has to make sense. But the best product, you know, in our space, and in our price point, we have to deliver that. Like if you look at Impact, if you look at the first fight with Trout and Zoe, you know, our production. I'm not going to sit here and say we were Showtime because we weren't. Or we weren't Dazn, but our production was really, really good for the budget of fight. You know, the world got a really, really, really good view of what Impact is becoming, and at the same time, we got recognized by great outlets like yourself. You know, if you go online and look at your followers, you know, you're up there in the high five figures, and if you look at your traffic, you're talking about, you know, mid six figures of traffic, you know, so when you got a you got to look at it what it's become. The boxing audience is about 3 million dedicated fans. Impact off of one show has probably penetrated, I'm not going to say all the fans, but the majority of true boxing fans and promoters and people in the space. Not the novelist fan that is waiting for, a Pacquiao fight or a Canelo fight or, Deontay Wilder, who people just know their names, in their crossover. I don't think those people know about Impact as of yet, but the basic boxing community does, and that's what the goal was. So now the goal is to be able to put on 52 dates in 2021 and go back to what USA had with Tuesday night fights when they had those fights on. Well, not 52. I'm sorry, 48 fights for 2021, and it's going to be a lot of partnerships, and it's going to be a lot of promoters involved, and we have our lead promoter in house, which we did our first deal with is Teresa Tapia. Now we're looking at a DeBella deal. And then now, we're in talks with Don King about a couple of dates. And
oh, man,
we're going to
let me
meet
jump
Duva
in
and
there.
Golden Boy. We're just going to see what we can do.
I would love the DeBella deal. He's got some very interesting heavyweight fighters that we had Steven Espinoza on this show, and he's like, well, you see, Nestor, he's never brought up Stephen Big Shot Shaw to me. And it's like, well, then you need to be on his .com. He has a few heavyweight fighters that are interesting and definitely have the skill. I mean, look, you brought in Big Zo for being in the camp with Wilder and obviously other reasons, but Stephen Big Shot Shaw has been in the last 6 camps with Wilder, and he is an undefeated fighter. He's a very good prospect. He was signed to Al Heyman at one point and left because he just wasn't getting enough fights, and young fighters need to be active. But Lou definitely has a stable of fighters that can facilitate a network. Now, I'm not going to say he's your end-all, be-all, but he definitely has some talent, especially now that he's not in the fold with Al anymore.
Yeah, we're looking at doing something with Lou. Hopefully we get the paperwork together. We're going to actually do a site survey today for the Philadelphia fight that he's doing March 27th. It's not a go. It's not 100% greenlit yet, but it's 90% there that should be on Impact on March 27th, because we had a March 21st date.
Are you talking to Steven Ortiz versus Damon Allen Jr. fight?
Is that Philadelphia?
Yeah, it's a Philly show with Michelle Rosado and Lou DeBella because
that's it.
Beautiful. We just had her on the line, and she said she sent out some feelers to you, and she was hoping that you guys wanted it, because that's a great main event. You know what I mean? That's a great obviously we don't know the budget, but that's a Friday night fight, ESPN Friday night fight back in the day fight, main event, true main event. Steven Ortiz 11-0, Damon Allen Jr. 16-0. One trained by Oscar Rivas, the other trained by Terrence Crawford's trainer, Bo McIntyre. Beautiful fight for you. Beautiful fight.
Yeah, incredible fight, and we're really trying to lock it in, and we're looking at it, and I would love to air it, and we'll know today. We'll actually know today if it's going to be official. We have to look at a site survey today to see if the site survey can, if the venue, if we don't have to take away too many seats in order to rig it for television, because their seats are already on sale. So what makes it problematic for us is, can we make sure that we got the jibs and the cameras and, all the proper production that we need to make it look a certain kind of way? And because Impact is coming off a faith-based platform, and they remain to stay faith-based, we're just adding original programming in boxing. We have a 4-hour-a-week block over there to create new programming for them, and I got to make sure that we control production, because we have to make sure that there's no person, and make sure that there's no cursing, and make sure there's no situations that can actually mess with the cable charter that they control, because they have to stay PG. So if our production company says that it's doable, we would love that fight. I think it's a great fight. I think what you said is right. I think when I looked at the card was incredible. And I think it's something that we need to do at Impact. We're just trying to make sure logistically it makes sense.
So whose idea was it to bring boxing to a Christian platform? And also, what is the boxing budget for 2020?
Okay, well, it's a two-sided situation as far as the budget. So I'll go on how Impact actually did a deal with how Impact was created. Impact's been around for 10 years, and I've been doing stuff behind the scenes in boxing forever. Hold on for a minute, please. I'm sorry. I've been doing things in boxing forever, and as I've been doing things in boxing, we were looking at Fuse, and we were looking at Tekka, we were looking at other networks to continuously do deals with, and the numbers just weren't added up to me. When you talk about budgets and pricing, the numbers weren't actually making true sense. I was like, where do we go from here? And we really couldn't figure out where we went from there at that point. So Knockout Season 3 ended, and we were in talks with Azteca to come back. And we were in talks with Fuse to see what we could do. And the numbers weren't adding up. And the dates weren't adding up. I just didn't have enough dates to actually fight the fighters, like you said, the young fighters, consistently. We were only doing one show a year. It was more based on a reality show. And the reality show, we were making some money, but the reality show wasn't a VH1 or anything like that. So it wasn't, when we were making millions of dollars, it was just a decent living. So I was like, how do I really do something good for the sport and turn this around where it makes financial sense? And I happened to come off a trip. And, the truth of it is, when I was gone, for some reason, because everything I pay is on automatic pay, my cable bill, I guess, didn't get paid. So I was sitting at the house, and the only thing I could get was basic cable, and I saw Impact. When I turned on the TV, Impact was on, and I read that it went to 86 million homes, and I reached out to Terry Arnold, and I said, I have this show, and we can produce a show at a really, really low number for the network. And we came into an agreement about a reality show initially, and then when I started understanding the reach and the demographic and 86 million homes, the power impact, I said, what else can we do? And we started to carve out a 4-hour block, 2 hours a week for boxing, and then we have another half hour on Fridays for Stars and Champions, a reality show. And then we increased that. Then we took it to 3 more hours from 4 to 7. So every fight is different based on the budget, is because now we're programming the network. So when you program the network based on sponsors and based on the revenue of what the sponsors and the advertisers are bringing in, which is really starting to become financially stable, I'll put it that. And the more we do, the more money we're actually generating. So the more money we'll actually put into reality shows, boxing, television, and things of that nature. So, the way my deal structure, we do have like an NDA, but I will say this, is that we have we have mid-7 figures to spread out over 2021, and for our last 8 or 9 fights we're going to do in 20, and then we're going to go do 50 fights. We're in the mid-7 figures already as far as sponsors and advertisers. So, you're probably looking at, 6-figure fights, 100,000 to 250 probably per episode. I can't say exactly, but that's probably what you'll be looking at, like 100,000 to $250,000 cards. But it's going to be weekly.
But is that
you're not going to have the super?
Is that fight per Sony, or is that overall budget? And I know we're getting too detailed. We're getting too detailed, and if that's too much info, that's fine. But is that like 100,000 for 2 fights? Is that 100,000 for the whole card, all fighters?
No, it all depends on the circumstance. If it's the right fighter, the budget will move. But what I'm stating is, it could be 1 to 250 all in. It all depends on the fight. We're doing a lot of up and coming fighters. We're doing a lot of former champions that just want to regain their situation. And it's a lot that goes into the network aspect. Are we signing the fighter? Is the fighter exclusively going to be at Impact? Are we just doing a favor for a one-off for another promoter to basically get them in a position where they could take their fighter to Dazn or Showtime or PBC or Heyman? You know,
Luther Bella has a guy named Junior
person,
Fa. A guy named Junior Fa that
Mm-hmm.
you could build around. I mean, this guy is talented. I was just in the Wilder camp for an entire week watching him spar with Wilder. And it's not my first time seeing him, but it's my first time seeing him in training. Obviously, we've seen his fights, but to see him in there and do what he did, that's a heavyweight that and he's already highly ranked in the WBO. Listen, the deal to make is with Lou and maybe Salita. You know, for sure.
Well, you know what? Those deals, we're going to do multiple of them. They out there for us. Like I said, we're not doing anything when it comes to stressing ourselves about what promoters doing, what network. Any good promoter that has good talent, we're open to working with right now. And anything that we could do that makes real financial sense for the network and for us is where we're going. And, you know, we're going to keep in-house as a network 12 dates. And then we're going to co-promote 36 more dates next year. So we're going to do a total of 48 dates next year.
So, are you at liberty to release the numbers for the Austin Trout fight in terms of ratings? Because there was like a rumor floating around 275.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely, you know, no, they weren't 275. It wasn't that high. And that's what, we weren't that high. We were between streams and television. We had, I think people are having a misconception of what the report came out. The report came out, we had over 275,000 impressions. That doesn't mean we had 275 people watch the fight. We're somewhere in the, you know, mid 100s. From the last numbers I checked, you know, people were saying between streams and eyeballs, we're probably somewhere like 130, 140. Between total impressions and interaction for the fights were above 275, and that's what people are reporting, but that's not completely accurate. We had probably 279,000 impressions, and most people who just run with the impressions. Hold on for a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on.
No problem.
We have that many impressions, but it's not 279. 275. You know, actual viewers.
I
About
mean, 130,000 is still good. I mean, we've seen Showtime, you know, a premium network do, you know, a little more than that as a boxing, you know, program. You know, we've seen their fights do like 230, 275. But Mike has a question. He's mad I keep cutting him off. Go, Mike.
Yeah, I was going to ask, with the programming that's surrounding the boxing, like the reality show and the podcasting, is that like boxing like theme too, or is that like something like totally different?
I'm sorry, my phone broke up. Can you repeat the question one more time? I apologize.
With the programming that's surrounding the boxing, like in that block from 4 to 8 or 4 to 7, is that programming going to be boxing themed too, or is it going to be like a totally different kind of programming?
Some of it will be boxing themed, you know, but some of it will just be reality based. You know, we're doing this one show, Stars and Champions. It's not even actually going to be in the block. The block is 4 to 7 on Saturdays, and that starts June. We fight 8:30 to 10:30 Monday through. I mean, on Saturdays. That's the boxing slot, and the boxing reality show comes out on 10:30 on Fridays. So that 4 to 7 slot is more PG, family friendly shows, whether they're cooking shows or whether they're talk shows. But we're gonna have one show. Something similar to what you guys do over here on boxing Voices, we're gonna have one show called Inside the Ropes that will come on at 4:30. That will come on at 4:30 on Saturdays. We're just trying to make sure we get the cast, and we're just trying to put together the right people to create the show. But that show will start late June. But it is, being created now. So we'll have one boxing themed show on Saturday afternoons. We'll have a boxing reality show Friday night, and we'll have live boxing on Saturday nights. And then we'll have other theme shows in that space on Impact, which will be they got a show with Fredro Starr called Rappers and Ballers. There's a show Life After Death. It's about prison reform. There's a couple of more good shows. I think there's a cooking show. There's on there. I think it's called. It's like Selfish Sins, about people overindulging in food or something like that. And then there's another competition show, a weight loss show. So I know those shows are greenlit and ready to go, and I know they're going into production in March.
I also wanted to ask you, does Freeway Rick Ross have like any kind of role in Impact Network?
I know he was trying to have conversations with the owner. I don't know, I'm not involved with anyone's business. He represents Austin Trout, and we do business with Austin, and I know he was trying to set up meetings with the bishop and the owner of the network. I don't know how that goes. That's basically something I really don't even concern myself with or look into too much. I mean, there's a million people trying to speak with Impact. Once something gets going, a ton of promoters speak, and if they could do a deal over there at Impact, God bless them. I wish everybody, whoever does whatever doesn't affect what I'm doing. So I just wish everybody, the best luck, and if they can secure a deal over there, they can secure a deal over there. I don't know where their negotiations are. I don't know where their talks are. But I also know he's in the boxing space, and I know he wants to, have dates like everybody else needs to have dates. And if he could pull something off over there, that'd be a good thing for him, because Impact will be, the actual leader in combat sports with 52 dates next year. So let's see if I don't know, whatever Rick's promotional company is, let's see if his promotional company is in that mix of people that have dates. And once I know, I'll be the first one to tell you guys if he worked on something with the network, but I'm not really sure.
All right.
Hello?
So yep. So I'm gonna get to some questions from the people that we have, and pull those up. I'm sorry. All right, we got Rue in the 504 that says, what new boxing shows? Well, you just answered that. What new boxing shows are you working on, and where can we watch them? You want to reiterate any new boxing shows that may be airing already?
Yeah, Stars and Champions, 10:30 p.m. Impact Network every Friday. We did a soft launch last week. We didn't announce it to the public, but you can watch it this Friday at 10:30. It will be the official launch of Stars and Champions, which is focused. The first 4 series are focused on Austin Trout, Big Zoe Butler, Abel Mendoza, Teresa Tapia. Who else was in that first 4 episodes? David Rodriguez, and a few Jesse Reed, and a few other boxing enthusiasts and boxing trainers and boxers and promoters. So Stars and Champions, 10:30 Friday.
All right, we got Israel Weber in Oklahoma that says, thanks for coming on TBV. I'm a cord cutter, meaning I'm not paying for dish or cable. I get my boxing via apps like Showtime, Dazn, and on free TV like Fox. When I'm lucky enough, he says Impact sounds like it'll be perfect for me. Is Impact going to be available on a standalone streaming app, or would I need a cable subscription? You guys do have an app, but you can give him way more detail than me.
Actually, if you have basic cable, if you still have that, you'll get it because we're on the lowest tier of cable. That means if you just have the basic, 29 or 39, I don't know the numbers, a $49 package, the lowest package, whatever your cable provider carries, you'll get Impact. But if you did cut the cord completely already, just go to impacttv.com and it's 100% free, and just download the app through your either your Apple Play Store or through your Samsung device, and the app will be there, and everything is streamed in live time. There's no buffering. The streaming technology is really, really there. We're equivalent to all the premium cable carriers and all the Hulus and Netflix quality. So you can just watch it for free. You'll definitely be able to watch Impact on your devices and at home if you have basic cable for free, and on your devices for free completely.
Steve, man, you were working your way to being one of my favorite guests until you sounded so knowledgeable on Androids. Let me find out when I text you is going to be green, bro.
Nah, I'm an iPhone guy through and through. But,
you over here talking about the iPhone. You over here talking about the market. I'm like, wait, ours ain't called the market. Then he threw out the Samsung. I'm like, oh man, he's an Android user. No, but listen, I got another one for you.
Nah,
go ahead. Well, I was gonna give you some details here.
Nah, you gotta have it.
I was going to give you some details because you said you guys did about 130 overall, views with people live streaming and everything collectively. And the last Showbox, New Generation, did 151 at 11:31, and at 12:08 a.m. it did 160. So you're right there, and it's like I told my listeners before we had you, when we had Austin and we had Big Zoe on the show, we had Freeway. You guys are in 80 million homes, and now having you on and learning new information that you don't even need cable. Man, that's very good, man. I hope that you guys continue to put on good enough shows to get more and more of a budget, because my question to Austin was, you're calling out Terrence Crawford on Impact. Is Impact gonna back you to entertain a Crawford fight, or is Austin gonna have to go to ESPN to fight Crawford?
The honest answer on that, we would definitely entertain any fight for Austin Trout that made financial sense and that could really take the network to the next level. But Bob Arum definitely wouldn't, and I'm sure he wouldn't, because he has an incredible financially structured deal at ESPN. He has the superstar fighter. He has the bag completely. He has all the finance, and he has everything he needs, and he has the distribution platform that is actually they're at 105 million homes. We're at 86, so they have bigger distribution than we have. We have more money, and they have the superstar fighter in that equation. So we really would have very limited bargaining power at Impact. One thing about us, the reason why I give you the real numbers and the reason why I tell people exactly what it is because I know we're in a position of strength, and we're in a position to negotiate. We're never in a position of weakness, but to negotiate. So if we were lucky enough to get Austin Trout that fight, and say Bob Arum said, yeah, we'll give him that fight, and we want a rematch clause, and we want an option, and we want this, and we want that. Most networks would say this based on Austin Trout being a firm supporter of Impact from day one, but also based on Austin being 34, and I want him to have a championship, and I want him to make multi-millions of dollars if Bob Arum would give him the shot to fight Terrence Crawford, which doesn't make good boxing business sense, Impact would release him and let him go to Bob Arum. We don't have a long-term deal with Austin. We're doing deals with Austin because Austin's a great guy, and we want him to fight on PBC. I want him to fight on ESPN. I want him to fight the best people in the world and get that, last hurrah run at millions of dollars and a title. Austin Trout's a great guy, and he deserves it. So we're just here to help facilitate getting him to that chance where he deserves to be in the ring with, Keith Thurman or Earl Spence or, Bud Crawford or whoever he can secure that multi-payday with and make an entertaining fight to the fans.
Very, very good answer, because it showed how knowledgeable you are in the sport, man, to know the positions of your competitors and, what fights to fight and what fights are not meant to be fought. But I got another one coming from Stephen Williams in the UK, and he says, are Impact looking to make their own stable of boxers, or are they happy to pick off free agents and make one-off fights with smaller promoters exclusively?
No, Impact is keeping 12 dates. That will be in-house. And we will sign fighters to those 12 dates, which will give us a ton of dates. And then the other 36 dates will be smaller promoters and bigger promoters. No one has TV time now except Heyman, Arum, De La Hoya, Hearns. Who am I missing? That's about it. That's about the only people that actually physically have television.
Salita been getting Dimitri Salita. He's been getting a lot of fights on Showtime.
Yeah, he has, and I look at him. He has good solid fighters and good solid numbers. But besides these fighters, then you only have PBC. And when you look at Showtime, Showtime is incredible. I love Showtime. I love anything in the Viacom CBS family because they can do so much more with boxing because they have so many platforms to put reality shows on, whether it's Viacom or whether it's MTV, and they have so many ways to actually build that boxing platform more so on a weekly basis than just on a quarterly basis. But if you actually ask yourself a question, the promoters on Showtime, their dates are limited. They're getting less dates. Showtime is fighting every 6 weeks, so when you actually do the math on every 6 weeks, you're going to have 8 fights for the year. Maybe you have another 4 or 6 on Showtime. I don't know their fight schedule. I have no idea how many fights they're going to fight, but just looking at it and being a fan, I don't see them putting on more than between Showbox and Showtime. I don't see their calendar having more than 20 fights. And with so many promoters and so many fighters in the game, it's going to be really, really hard to move fighters with only 20 dates, especially when you're dealing with PBC that has 200 fighters, and then you're dealing with, like you said, Demetrius, and I don't know how many fighters he has, and then you have the one-off fighters. So, you're looking at, even if it's low, because PBS has 200, so even if you're looking at 250 fighters, if you got 20 dates, and even if you're putting 6 cards per date, that's only 120 fights. So you got 120 fights, and you got 200 fighters. Even if you want to move your 200 fighters quickly and give each fight 3-4 fights a year, which is still low at 3 fights for an up-and-coming fighter. So say 4 fights, 4 times 120 is 480. You got a long way to go to really move those fighters. So a lot of people are going to pop over to Impact because we're going to fight monthly. And we're going to move fighters, and that's basically what it is, just to move talent as quick as possible and give people an opportunity when they're in their prime to really, truly become successful at a really young age. If you look at the difference with boxing promoters, and if you look at Vince McMahon or you look at Dana White, these guys make stars really, really quick. A guy has to be 25-0, 20-0, unless you get, every now and then, you get a breakthrough star. You get the Ryan Garcias that people have 3 million followers, or you get the Lomachinkos every now and then. But the majority of fighters out here that's 19-0, 20-0, no one even knows. So we're just trying to change that model. We're trying to move fighters quickly and do the Dana White and the Vince McMahon model and get their notoriety up at the same time. So
Steve, can you speak into the mic? You kind of went echo on us.
Sorry about that. I said I just want to make sure we get these fighters' notoriety up as quick as possible and do the Vince McMahon and the Dana White model, make stars really, really quick so you have the notoriety. You know, boxing needs TV, and they need these great outlets like Showtime and DAZN to really do more programming and, you know, not boxing programming, just more programming to make the awareness of the fighter. When you got Logan Paul and KSI, the headline on a Devin Haney fight, and Devin Haney was a great young fighter, but Devin Haney was on the undercard of their fight because they had the popularity to sell out the Staples Center. So with that being said, that's why I will hope Showtime and Viacom and CBS will start cross-referencing their talent and putting them on different platforms. And I think that's the true strength of Impact, is that we're not just going to fight fighters. We're going to put them on reality shows, do cross-promotions, hopefully with places like TMZ, do deals, you know, with other networks for, you know, commercials and promotional materials, and try to truly create stars that will fill the seats. You know, it's funny to say, you brought in the name of Terrence Crawford is super fighter. So is Earl Spence. You put Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford together, you're going to have a really, really great night. But at the same time, if DAZN has anything less than that, if DAZN has, if Showtime has anything less than that night, if they have, just say, Tank sells good, you know, like you said, you saw 150,000 views on whatever fight that was on Showbox. They're going to get beat out by YouTubers all day. YouTubers are going to get better ratings than them all day. They're going to get 2, 3, 4 million followers. So we're just on a different path to promote fighters in a quicker manner. And I think that's where Impact strength is going to be, that we promote fighters and make them stars quicker. That's all.
Well, Steve, man, that's all our questions. I definitely want to get you back on and continue to follow the Impact story. We did appreciate your time, and we will continue to follow the story. I mean, look, Austin is a great friend of mine. Once I seen what was going on, we pretty much got everyone affiliated with the network that we could to really tell the story to our audience in detail. I think my co-host has another one, though.
Yeah, real quick, does Impact have any intentions of putting on a fight over in Ireland? I believe we had a guest or somebody said that.
Austin said his next fight's in Ireland.
Yeah, something like that. There we go.
Yeah, we're trying to work it out right now. We got a really nice partnership going over in Ireland. We're trying to fight in April in Ireland. It's supposed to be April 25th is the date. We're having a couple of snags in negotiation, but yeah, we'll be in Ireland. I just don't know if it's going to be April 25th, but will we be in Ireland in the next 60 to 90 days? Yeah, we're doing a show called Impact International. The show was actually more so created, for Roy Jones, because he has so much, he has so many boxers coming out of Russia. And Roy is a really intricate part of everything we do at Impact. And I created that for him. I created actually Impact International for Roy Jones so we could do 6 fights out of Russia this year and not take away from the 48 fights that we're doing out of America. And then when we announced this Impact International situation, a couple of really heavy hitters out of Ireland called us and was like, can we do a fight a quarter? And we were like, how are we going to make it make financial sense? And by the time we went through the sponsors, and by the time we went through site fees, and by the time we went through advertisers, and we put all the pieces of the puzzle together, it made financial sense. Now we're just the delay with us is we're ready as a network to be there April 25th. But when you're dealing with sponsors and site fees and lawyers and advertisers to make sure that our money is offset properly, it's taking just a little bit longer than it should. But I'm sure we're going to close it. And I'm sure he will be fighting either in April or May in Ireland, no later than June. And, Ireland's going to be a really good payday for the people who are on that card, because the love and the support and the sponsors and the advertisers that are coming out for this Impact International is already, when you go on a per fight basis, we're already like 200-300 times more profitable than we are in the U.S. on our international shows.
Well, Steve, man, I want to thank you once again. Mike, that's it?
That's it, man.
All right. Well, Steve, man, thank you once again. Did you mean the people that were interested, is that MTK Global?
No. The people that we're doing in Ireland, a young lady named Adriana Taylor put it together. She knows Steve O'Rourke, and she knows all of boxing. I'll say I don't know the proper terminology. Boxing bigwigs, you might as well say, in Ireland, and we've really been speaking with them. And there's 3 or 4 promotional entities that this guy Steve O'Rourke works with closely, and they're really big, and they have their sponsorship together, and their goal is to have U.S. television. And as you know, like you said, we got 86 million homes, so we got U.S. television. So I'll announce who the partner is, like in a couple weeks. I'll announce it to you guys first. But I see that you guys are real knowledgeable about boxing. A lot of Impact rumors are going around right now, and you guys got your pulse on them. You guys got your hand on the pulse, so it shows that you're really keeping your ear to the streets and negotiations of what's going on. But it'll be officially announced like in 2 weeks, though.
Nah, man, I'm just very excited. Honestly, I had no clue this was happening, and we had a couple of executives on, and speaking to Espinoza, and just noticing that there is such a void and a market for the 1-0 to all the way to 15-0 fighter. Like those guys can't get fights. They can get fights, but then they have to pay their own opponents. They can't get television. It isn't worth it for some promoters. But if a Friday night fights, like you said, a Tuesday night fights came along with that certain budget, those kids would be on television, and they would use it as a springboard, man. For me, look, I'm probably the only guy you're going to meet that's never watched any other sport. Like, I don't watch football, basketball, never seen a Super Bowl or a Grand Slam. So finding this news out only excites me because all I watch is boxing. I have it right on. I told my listeners, all I had to do was say it right into my Xfinity remote. It was already part of my package. Before the question was asked to you, I find out that they had an app. I let them know that they can get it on an app as well. Like it's 86 million homes. I'm excited. I really hope that you make the right fights so that the executives above you really open up their wallets to you to get you even better fights in the years to come.
Well, and that's what's more important. Like you said, making the right fights and opening the opportunities for these young fighters, and making sure that we open the opportunity to promoters also that can't get television. As long as, and I'm gonna go back to my executive hat, like you said, they use words like business, whatever. So I'm going back to my business hat. What we're doing different than everybody else is we're already in a situation where we've identified what the loss leader of money will be, and before we even start thinking about making money. And the funny thing is, with these international fights, and we see already the turning point where we become not profitable, but we see the break even. and then we see a little bit down the road the profitability. And the funny thing is, a lot of these executives, they go and they spend the network's budget, and then when they spend the network's budget and the return is not there, the networks get pissed and they cut dates, or they actually cut out the entire boxing program like HBO did because it was just such a lost leader of money. That won't happen on Impact. Impact is totally a distribution
Steve,
carrier.
I need you to talk into the mic again.
Finances. Sorry about that. I don't know. It must be my phone. I said it won't happen at Impact because Impact is our distribution platform that is financially invested into this. But as me putting it together, I don't go to the network and say, hey, give me $250 because this is a great card. I go to the network and say, hey, let's spend $250 because even if we lose this $250, we're going to offset it with our international fights, or this will lead up to these two fights down the road that the return will be $700,000. So we have a really firm financial plan. That's why we slowed down a little bit with the success of the first show and with the airing of the reality show. Is so now our sponsors, our advertisers, our marketing department, our branding, and our and the people that are doing the strategies with us can say, we know we're generating 7 figures for 2021, mid 7 figures. So let's break this down per fight and see what we can afford, and how do we generate another mid 7 figures. So Impact is going to got off to a really, really great start. It's going to be really slow for the next 60 days. And after that, for the next 60 months, you're going to see us every month, which will turn into every 2 weeks, which will turn into every week. And then it's going to turn into sometimes twice a week when we're doing the Impact International. This will become the biggest distributor of boxing.
I hate to keep interrupting you, but we want to make sure we heard you, because you said next 60 months. That's 5 years. So you got a 5-year deal with them.
Yeah, it's a 5-year deal. We got a 5-year deal for programming, content, and boxing. This is the future of boxing. As long as I do my job and keep making it make financial sense and make sure that they're not losing money, and they won't, because I'm not in a situation to make them lose money. I'm not in a situation just to sign fights. I'm not in a situation just to want to put boxing on TV. I'm in a situation where I want to make stars and champions. I want to make it make great financial sense. I want to make strategic alliances with every major promoter in the marketplace. I want to do our in-house fights, which we have 12 with Teresa Tapia. I want to do those. I want to do everything that we're supposed to do in order to make this, over the next 5 years, financially sound and become something similar to a I won't even say PBC, because I love what Al Heyman does, but become similar to real result, real time, real life WWE model, where we have podcasts, films, reality shows, and an event once a week, live somewhere in some city. And that's the goal, to roll those trucks for the next 5 years and be in a different city once a week with a great promoter, and really, really grow this thing out, and always be responsible to the network, and always figure out how do we turn a profit, whether it's sponsorship, whether it's viewership, whether it's co-promotions, whether it's the gate. We're going to figure it out. We're going to definitely figure it out, and we're going to stay here. We'll be here for 5 years. We're not going anywhere.
I got to ask, you keep saying you want to make stars in the future of boxing. How can you, I need to know, what do you mean by the future of boxing? Because you're going to be still competing with the bigger networks. Like, if you're not staying in your lane, and what I mean by that is like sticking to the guys like Steven Ortiz and Damon Allen that haven't, Damon's been on TV, but Steven hasn't been on TV unless you're counting UFC Fight Pass or, Broadway boxing on Lou DiBella, which is very difficult for the average boxing fan to see. So yeah, because budget wise, wouldn't it be hard to say you're the future, or you think because no other network offers as many dates as you will soon offer, that's, I mean, but still the budget's going to be different per date.
No, I think we're the future, not because of budgets and not because of boxing. I think the promoters now just don't understand the future of all sports. When I mean all sports, I mean social media aspect, reality TV show aspect. Okay, I'll give you the prime example. You just named two young, incredible, up-and-coming fighters. And we understand the power of media. What makes more financial sense, not to the sport, but overall to fund the sport? The KSI Logan Paul rematch or the two fighters you just named? See, the difference is we understand that we need those two fighters. We need them desperately to build the sport. But we also understand we need the social media aspect and the star aspect of it to merge. And most promoters don't want to do it. Most promoters go, that's a gimmick. I don't want to do it. It's degrading the sport. No, it's not degrading the sport when you're bringing attention to the sport. When you're bringing 10 million people on Instagram and 10 million people on Twitter and 10 million people on Facebook to recognize something that has 3 million followers as a basis, and these great guys are only going out there with 155,000 views. Sooner or later, at those numbers, why would CBS continue to do Showbox? It doesn't make sense. The Zone makes sense because the subscriber base, they have 30-some-odd million homes. So 30-some-odd million homes giving you $10 a month. Like, I got the Zone. I like to watch Canelo fight. I only turn it on when Canelo's fighting, but I pay my monthly subscription. So if I'm paying $10 a month times 30 million, they're getting, they're getting $300 and some odd million a month. So that makes financial sense. So when I say we're the future, I say we're the future based on what makes financial sense to the network. I don't see us having a competition. I don't see those big budgets staying in place for 5 years. HBO has already showed us. The downsizing of fights on Showtime has already showed us. They're people are not going to consistently spend money without recouping. So when I say we're the future because we will grow to those $5 million budgets. But we're actually going to do that. We're going to grow to the $5 million budget via social media. It sounds crazy, but you remember when Kim Kardashian did the celebrity boxing match about 4 or 5 years ago?
Nah, I don't remember Kim doing that. I'd have watched that.
Kim Kardashian.
I remember like vaguely.
They did this Kardashian. They did this celebrity boxing match. And you guys you love the sport like I love the sport. Look at the numbers. Just look at the numbers. The numbers were astronomical. Look at the press coverage. Look at the advertisers and the sponsors. So what I'm saying is, of course, we're never going to do anything like that. We're not in that wheelhouse. We don't want to do that. But we also recognize the power of star power and branding. So we understand how Conor McGregor is one of the top 5 paid boxers in history with one fight. We understand the power of Floyd Mayweather. We understand Anthony Joshua. 90 I don't know if he's heavyweight. He didn't look great in that fight against Ruiz. He looked great everything else. Maybe he just had a bad night. But I understand that he sells out Wembley and the H2 Arena, and he sells 90,000 seats. And I understand that they built him into a star. So when I say, stars, Deontay Wilder is out there, great record.
60 seconds.
He's ever fought. Even when he had the rematch to get that knockout, he's knocked out everybody. He's becoming a star just now on 40-some-odd fights. Or maybe about 4 fights ago, we started becoming star power. So ask yourself a question. Why don't any of these guys, Floyd Mayweather, Deontay Wilder, why does the Charlo brothers, good-looking kids, why don't these guys have endorsements? Why don't they have commercials? Why aren't they being, same thing as you said, I'm a boxing guy. I like the NBA, but I'm a boxing guy. But if you look at the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, hockey, everybody has endorsements. Everybody has commercials. Everybody has a sneaker. We have nothing. So when I say we're going to the future of boxing, I partner with a major Hollywood agency to start bringing all of that to the sport, where I don't have to represent the Charlos, but I also know that I could get them some commercials. I don't got to represent Floyd Mayweather, but I know he has millions and millions and millions of followers, so let me see what type of deal we could broker for Floyd. So we're doing a lot more than, that's why I said we're a full-service multimedia company, and the way we're going to take over the sport in time is by consistently growing the sport. And when I say growing the sport, it's getting people commercials, endorsements. Roy Jones was in Matrix. You ain't see him since. Why is Roy Jones not in the Expendables? Because there was no agents that sent him out for the role. So now with the partnership that we have in Hollywood with a major agency, and the partnership we have going forward with certain social media platforms and media platforms, I think we can make the popularity of the fighter quicker than we can make the popularity of the fighter happen quicker than most. And if we can make the popularity of the fighter happen quicker than most, then we can definitely win.
Well,
so that's what I mean, changing sports. The money will come.
What's your nationality, Steve?
I'm Puerto Rican and black, and I grew up in the South Bronx. I grew up by Hunts Point.
Okay. Oh, you from New York. Okay. Because you talking cocky. I love it. Listen, I love your attitude. I tell fighters all the time they need to clubber lane their way to the top. Clubber Lane gave them the blueprint in Rocky. It's not difficult. Everyone that chose to be Clubber Lane in boxing got their opportunity. Bernard snatched the Puerto Rican flag from your boy. Tito slammed it on the floor, got his opportunity. Laura ran down on Canelo, got his opportunity at the podium. You got a Clubber Lane in boxing, and I love your mentality, man. You want to take it over. We're definitely going to follow you because all we do is boxing. Once again, thank you for your time. I know we were a bit long, but definitely wanted to get the information out there to our audience.
Nah, I love it, and, I appreciate the opportunity you gave. And to be honest, I try to stay as humble as possible. All of these guys are working off of money. And I'll just say, if you want to just know the truth about boxing, all these promoters are working off of somebody else's money. They're working off investors. They're working off of networks. They're working off of someone else's money. A true business person that's successful knows one thing. You can't lose other people's money and keep spending it. And they're not changing. That's why UFC is doing so good. Because until Ronda Rousey lost, she was a star, and she was in 10 movies. That's why, Conor McGregor, until he got exposed, he was in movies and liquor. Vince McMahon created a wrestler to be the biggest movie star in the world, The Rock. And his other wrestler, Batista's in the #1 movie in the world, Avengers. And on top of it, John Cena has a weekly series. So I just got one question I got to say to all these great boxing promoters. Why we have nothing like that? After 140 some odd years in the sports, why is everybody just looking for Floyd and not looking to make The Rock? Or even looking to make Ronda Rousey? Let's go real low. I mean, no disrespect to Ronda Rousey, but let's just go with, less followers. Let's go with, less levels of fights. How's Ronda Rousey get fast and furious and all this other stuff? And give us one star. Outside of boxing, just tell me one star in the sport. Just give me one. outside of boxing. They're all stars in boxing. Give me one international star before we hang up.
International boxing star?
And you can't, and that's the mistake of boxing. Give me one star, not international. Give me one star in boxing. One. Just one. Outside the ring. One star. One movie star that has blockbuster hits. One TV star.
I mean,
Wilder
did
radio.
Wilder did a show he was on Billions last year. And Joshua's definitely an international star, no? Canelo as well.
No, what I'm talking about, I'm not talking about international stars based on boxing. I'm saying Canelo's doing great in his country. He's carrying his whole country. Wilder, as an actor on Billions, I loved it. But I'm saying, what promoter consistently, or what partnership consistently, are you seeing caring enough about the fighter?
PBC.
That they say, let's do what we.
PBC's the only PBC since the existence of them. They've been they actually set the trend, and everyone else is following, of having their own fighters. Hold on a minute. Having their own fighters on the telecast commentating. I know what he's saying. He's saying outside of boxing, but they're putting them on television, even outside the ring.
Ain't no stars, bro, outside of the ring. They not in movies, not on #1 TV shows, not in social media.
I mean, Wilder also did what was it? Something Atlanta Housewives. He was in like 5 episodes.
What he's saying is, compared to The Rock.
Of course Vince not McMahon compared to The Rock.
What I'm saying, the #1 movie star in the world.
But Steve, the WWE YouTube channel has 56 million subscribers. Like, there's nothing like wrestling.
And that's what we're doing wrong in boxing.
Yeah, but how long has wrestling been around? Wrestling is
30 years.
Wrestling has been on regular television. Yeah, but on regular television, when boxing took a step back to regular television and had to go premium, HBO, you had to have cable to watch it. Wrestling, I was still watching wrestling as a kid. You know what I mean? Like, it's always been on Channel 5 or whatever. I don't watch it anymore, but it's always been free.
So let me ask you a question then. Now we can have a quick debate before we get off the phone. Let me ask you one real question then. How did UFC catch us in 20 years?
Catch us?
Forget regular TV.
What you mean? But how they catch us? How they catch us? You mean their pay-per-view events? Because their regular ratings.
In numbers, Listen, they built a $4.1 billion industry. Billion, guaranteed. I'm talking merchandise, TV, advertising. They built a $4.1 billion industry. We have promoters that have spent $1 billion. We have promoters that have made $1 billion deal, but we haven't had any promoter to earn $1 billion. Well, let's go higher, $4 billion in revenue. Unless you're looking at like pay-per-view fights, but I'm talking about consistent revenue. Floyd is the biggest earning person in the world as far as athletes. Every athlete, LeBron James, The Rock, everybody, biggest athlete in the world. Of course, you'll be able to utilize him as a bankable asset in his sport. All I'm saying is we plan, if we ever are lucky enough to have an athlete of that caliber, is to cross-promote him the same way the WWE or the UFC does. And when I mean cross-promote him, I mean real movies. They were doing good with Victor Ortiz until he self-destructed. They had him on Dancing with the Stars. They had him in Expendables. They were actually moving it. They're doing good. They also, they're trying it. But I just said, me personally,
yeah, but it's different.
We see the lane a little different.
It's different, Steve. UFC, because UFC, it's its own thing. Like, boxing and boxers are their own business. So, yeah. Victor Ortiz did Dancing with the Stars because it's a deal directly with Victor. It's not a deal with, let's say, Heyman, who was his advisor at the time, and all of Heyman fighters. It's just a deal with Victor as a sole person. UFC is different. They got everybody under their franchise. They're in charge. There's only one. In boxing, it's the Wild Wild West. We got 8 different networks, 20, 30 different promoters, 50 different managers. It's ridiculous. Boxing is crazy.
So let me ask you one quick question. So if Impact becomes the home where people can go to and get reality TVs to look into their lives, same thing as the real, like you said, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or Love and Hip Hop. Everybody on Love and Hip Hop gets weekly appearances and et cetera, et cetera. So if Impact becomes a place where people can have a reality show, but also does a deal, which we're in the process of doing with a major agency with people that aren't even involved with Impact. You have nothing to do with us. You don't fight for us. You don't do anything. But you know you can stop through here, and I can say, hey, you know what? And I can't say the agency until it's officially announced in Variety. If I can say you could go to the number 3 agency in television and film and music in the world, and you have an opportunity. I can't make you a promise, but you could go try out for Fast and Furious. Or you can go try out for the next Avengers movie or whatever. That's what we're trying to bring. And I'm not saying I'm going to be 100% successful at it. I'm saying that's what you said is right. We're the Wild Wild West. So we need somebody to come in with a little bit of organization so people can basically say, I want a little bit of help in this space. And that's why I'm saying we're going to take the spot. It's not because we're coming like look, you got a great platform. You know, Boxing Voices is great. Now, how about, and not saying this is the opportunity, not saying this happens, I want to be able a year from now to call you back and say, we organize with sponsors and advertisers, and we organize with Monster Energy, who's paying millions of dollars to UFC for their ring mat. We organize this so we can get Boxing Voice mainstream America money to increase your visibility. I just don't want to do it with boxing. I want to increase the sport from the podcast.
Steve, stop buttering me up,
movies
Steve.
that are made about boxing. Huh?
I said, stop trying to butter me up, Steve.
It ain't trying to butter you up. You got to do movies. You got to do podcasts. You got to do TV shows. You got to build a social media. And then you got to do boxing. That's what we're missing. UFC does movies, TV shows. Huh?
No, I said you're right. I think that DAZN has it right.
What I'm saying to you is this. DAZN has it right. Yes, DAZN does have it right.
Yeah,
DAZN,
I mean, you're right.
Documentaries by Peter Berg.
Exactly. But you're right as well. You're right as well. I'm just saying, I think that they have the right game plan. They're going outside the box, like you said. They're getting Sylvester. They're getting LeBron. They're doing social media crossovers as well. They're not staying like PBC. PBC's in a box. It's like, oh, Terrence Crawford doesn't exist. DAZN is bringing every fighter on their social media, adding awareness. They're adding YouTubers. They're adding celebrities. You know, they really know what they're doing. They really know what they're doing. And they're growing tremendously. I just spoke about that. No other boxing social media has close to 1 million. DAZN in a short amount of time is closing in on that, which is crazy when everyone else has been around forever.
And you know what? And one thing you picked up on that you just said, they got it right. And guess what that means? And I'm not going to say who, because we tried to get them, and they turned us down because they're going with DAZN. There's a major telecommunication company, whether it's T-Mobile, Sprint, Verizon, AT&T, whoever. It's one of those guys. They're about to do a DAZN deal that is so big for cellular. And they're about to cross-promote, and you're going to see DAZN so big. That's why I'm saying
it's got to be AT&T. AT&T is really the only one dealing with.
I can't say who.
I mean, it's all good. We don't expect you
I
to.
might be supposed to know.
We don't expect you to, but it's got to be AT&T. They got Uverse.
I just went at them. Yeah, they. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of good things, and my situation is this: they're gonna win because they understand it, and I want to win at Impact, and I don't want to win for just us. I want you to win. I want your podcast to make millions. I want to make movies about boxing and put real boxers in it. We're trying to do a movie right now called Fight Love. It's a $4 million budget. It's supposed to go in production in November. There will be real boxers, and there will be real actors to support the boxers, but there will be real boxers, and we see it works with Mike Tyson and Hangover. We see the things work. No one just consistently does it. So what I'm trying to do, whether people end up loving me, hating me, makes no difference. I'm just trying to get in the space where we're making all of us a lot of money, and we're building a sport where everybody consistently can be recognized by the time they're 10-0 and have the opportunity to be Lomachenko. Everything I'm saying has been proven. It's not like I'm trying to create something and I'm saying I'm smarter, because I'm not. I'm not smarter. I'm just looking at the few exceptions to the rules, like the Lomachenko was a champ at 7-0, and then I reference that against other fighting leagues, and I say, wow, they did something similar. But then I ask myself a question: what are we missing to take Lomachenko, which I don't have any idea. I don't know him one bit, but why isn't he doing a Ford commercial or water commercial? Or those are the questions I keep asking myself, and that's the plan at Impact, and not only at Impact. The Impact situation is a platform for us to do 10 deals with agencies and telecommunication companies and film companies and TV companies, and because then why wouldn't someone want to do a deal with you have 10 revenue streams? It's really hard for me to lose your money. And that's where I said podcasts and all that is so important.
Well, we agree. So, right, Mike? Podcast super important, especially the #1 boxing podcast.
Sport, man. Podcasts, movies, documentaries, man. It all sounds excellent. I just hope you guys have success, because it seems like you guys have a vision and a plan mapped out for it. So I'm all eyes. I'm watching now. I'm peeping it out.
We got a plan, and it's going to take a minute. And like I said, for the next 60 days, we're going to be slow, and then you're going to see us little, and then you're going to start seeing not just stars and champions, and you're going to see exactly what you said. You're going to see us say, you know what? How do we? What's the best? I want the best of everything to partner. If I want the best websites, the best podcasts, the best social media, mainstream situations like the TMZs of the world, I want all of that, because I want to make these fighters stars. But listen, if you look at some of these dudes, their personalities, like you said, with the club and Lang mentality, their personalities and their visibility is worthy of millions and millions and millions of dollars. Somebody just has to take it. Look at Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner, we don't know if he's a great fighter anymore, but we know his personality until recently kept getting him opportunity. So if you have the opportunity, even when you lost, to come back and make millions of dollars, that means the right person or the right structure, that same personality would have had the right to do commercials, reality TV shows, movies, to sell something. George Foreman had the biggest selling grill ever. We just got to organize it and get it and really get to the money and really do what we do. And no disrespect to the people who are running the sport right now, they see one revenue stream. I see 10, because I don't mind losing on one if I can gain on 10 or 9, because then I can offset the loss when we have a bad night in boxing and there's only 130,000 viewers, which is becoming the industry standard when reality shows are doing 870,000 viewers to 1 million viewers a night. So where are all these major networks going to put their money in?
Love and Hip Hop definitely does over 1 million per episode. They brag about that. So yeah, that's
every
crazy.
Episode. And where's Viacom going to put his money? Viacom is CBS. Viacom is Showtime. You got 1 million viewers there. You got 155. Where you going to put your money?
Yeah, they need to be cross-promoting those fighters. See, a lot of these fighters are heavily influenced by hip hop. I mean, this interview is going to turn into a 10-hour interview, but like you said, Broner's heavily influenced by hip hop. You know, he raps, he hangs out with Rick Ross. They dress like rappers. Why not feature him on Love and Hip Hop? You know, I mean, it's not like that stuff isn't choreographed anyway. A lot of those scenes, I used to watch it early in. A lot of those scenes look like they, you know, made sure Joe Buttons was eating at a certain restaurant and Tahiri was going to whip around the corner. Like, come on, you could tell it was set up. So why can't we make Adrian Broner walk into Joe Buttons and, you know, be kicking it and cross promote? But I hope you have a lot of success, man. I hope you do. Like I said, we want to continue to follow the story. We're gonna get you on regularly. Like you said, when you're ready to give us that news, we can announce it live on the show instead of just, you know, text or something like that. But I want to thank you for your time, and if you can give out any social media, whether that be yours or Impact Network, and thank you again.
All right, mine is it's ITS Steven STEVEN Marcano MARCANO at it's at Instagram. At Instagram, and the Facebook is the same thing, Steven Marcano, and the Twitter is difficult, so we'll leave that alone because that's my other company. But there's Steven Marcano. You'll find me on all platforms, and Impact is just Impact TV Network on social media. And download the app, please, and watch the fights because they're free, and hopefully you enjoy it. And we will see you guys again in March. And whenever you guys want to come out to the fight, please do so. Come cover it, and we'll make sure that you can be there to give your true reviews and critique it and tell us if you love it or hate it. Because even if you dislike something we're doing, please tell us, because that's that you know, just knowing that you're watching is the biggest compliment, and knowing when we make a mistake that someone's there to tell us how to do it right. You know, constructive criticism is the only way we're going to become number one.
Thank you for your time.
So come on out and tell us what we're doing right or wrong.
Oh, definitely
Thank
take
you so
you up
much,
on
guys.
that offer,
Bye-bye.
Steve, for sure. Have a good evening. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Executive producer or executive, what do you call them, right? Definitely power maker, move maker over there doing his thing in Impact Network. Very happy to hear all that is planned, for sure. I did not know that it was a 5-year deal. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So we'll definitely be following that closely, man. Yeah, man, I want to see what level of fights. Excited to hear that he's going to be working with Lou DiBella. Oh, man. I hope
excited to hear that he got the Raging Babe thing too going. You know
that he's trying. He said he's trying. You know,
I think he's gonna get over.
Well, he said it has something to do with the capacity, because they already started selling tickets as a live show and not, you know, factoring in the television. So, you know, they got to see if they could take some of those seats out to account for all the equipment and shit.
I'm pretty sure that it'll be some concessions made. You know what I'm saying, for that.
Yeah, man. All right. So, did we ever get to those sponsors?
Nope, no sponsors. We only got to the quotes.
All right.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Great interview, man. If you
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
If you're tuning in, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. It's going to help us keep getting these big name guests on the show for your entertainment purposes. We're going out to our callers. Let's see. We got CYP, Boomerang. Talk to me.
What's going on, CYP?
Good morning to the host. Good morning to the haters. Good morning to the real ones. Anyway, what I got to say is short and quick. If you listen to Fury just said what I did wrong in the first fight is round 10. I should have took Wilder out in round 10. I was on the after show. I told all them dudes this. I say round 10 was the round that Wilder gave up. Round 10 was the round that Wilder was tired because he tried to finish Fury in round 9 when he was exhausted. You should just let that go. Got your 10-8 round. Went on to round 10. All he needed was a split decision from the judges in round 10. One give him the fucking round, he wins the fight majority decision. One fucking round. So expect the same thing to happen, except for Wilder to be more patient, be more honest about it.
Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it. You know how these bitches is in the sport. Total disrespect. Kid has no class, no style at all. I'm a gorilla, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, I'm a gorilla.
The smartest thing you can do is to stay away from terrorists.
It can't be the boogeyman if I'm chasing him. You want to bet? You bet 100,000 on that. Let's bet $1 million. Easy. Let's bet $1 million.
Oh, good morning.
What up?
Good morning. You sound a little bit cracky right now.
I know I'm driving through. Let me see how things go clear up for me. But like great interview. The guy that's the guy with the impact. He sounded very energetic, just like Rick Ross is on here. So I'm definitely looking forward to see what they gonna do and how he gonna impact boxing. Sound like he got a trying to paint the way for a lot of guys to make more money and gain more celebrity in this sport. So that was a real nice interview. For his Tyson Fury and Wilder, I mean I've been missing quite a few shows a little bit, but it's pretty much the same. About
cut it.
Bomb Boxing, Arizona.
What up, Bomb Boxing?
What's going on? What's going on? No, I mean, I like the man. I like what he's saying. He's a smart businessman. I just hope he can do things he says he's doing, bring boxing to the forefront again, back to being number one.
You try to slide in that dummy speakerphone, bro.
I'm not on speakerphone. You hear me?
That's got to be his Bluetooth. That's why it's picking up a lot of back feedback.
No worries. I'll listen to you guys. I'll holler at you later.
All right,
tell Siri. We said hey.
That was probably his GPS.
I know.
Stone Bone, talk to us.
I don't know the damn GPS name. What up, Stone Bone?
What up? What up? Man, great interview, man. Just like the last time I was telling y'all, man, we need these smaller venues, and he said it. He hit it right on the head when he said these people are gonna be willing to put their fighter on there to where they can take them back to a PBC or ESPN or Dazn. That it only makes sense because we knock a lot of guys not being known, but it's like we know Shakur because Bob Aaron been putting him on ESPN Plus, ESPN. Yes! Man, let these guys be seen. Shakur is what 13-0. He finna defend.
But you know what I found out, man? I realized that the amateurs, people that got a good amateur background, they can always end up with a better following. Like, we're going to have a kid on. I got to see when. He just signed a James Prince. He's an amateur. Like, you check their followings.
Box Boy?
They are, Box Boy. Troy. He been working. And that's what I'm saying. Like, because you got that amateur system, people been following you already. So these dudes get...
Tiafimo, though. Tiafimo been on Bud Cards, ESPN Plus. He don't have I didn't know Tiafimo from amateur pedigree. I didn't follow him in the Olympics like I did, of course.
No, me neither.
Championship and possibly finna get a chance to unify against what's considered the number 2 pound for pound behind Bud Crawford.
But the pedigree was there. That's the difference, right? With Tiafimo, we might not known him like Shakur, but people was talking about him already. His spawn sessions with Javante and Haney, that shit was buzz. And then he was getting put on Crawford cards and he created his own buzz. Look, I got put on him.
It's good for the sport, though, just to give them young guys 5-0, 6-0.
No, it's a perfect opportunity.
And take advantage of this shot. This is a big shot for Raging Back. Man, this is a good thing for boxing. So we should get behind.
I know I talked half your call, champ, but we gotta go. But I will say, I gotta give credit to Doomy. Doomy was the one, the Tiafimo being Honduran. Doomy was on him early in, and he said he was as good as he was, man. And it's definitely been panning out that way. Trey, talk to us.
What's going on, Trey?
Just listening, going once, twice. Civilian 11.
What's going on, civilian?
What's going on, fellas? Hey, I just want to say, man, it's really good getting all these guys on here, expressing their plans on expanding the sport. But I will say, man, it's really sad that when these guys get on, I was a little disappointed in Freeway Ricky Ross and the gentleman today. It sounds like they have big plans. I hope they fulfill what they're trying to do, but they just don't sound intelligent in what they're trying to display. I mean, it sounds great, but it just doesn't seem like it's put together with a well stated business plan. So hopefully they're able to pull it off. But it would be nice to at least have the lawyers or publicists come on and make it sound professional. That's all I have.
All right.
What?
He just said that the executive ain't do a good job of saying what he gonna do. You heard him, Mike.
I thought it was more than a good job, and you can't expect somebody to lay out their whole fucking plan to you, and then they just give it away to the competition, brother. Like, come on, man. If it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. Like, ain't that what Wilder say? You know what I'm saying? If it's that easy, everybody would do it. No, you got to keep it kind of close to the chest. So when you do bring it out and you do try to shock the world, like he said, it's something new. It's something odd. It's something different.
All right. Brandon, Cincinnati.
What up, Mike? What up, Ness? Good morning, man. I don't really want much. Just keep up the good work, man. Keep doing what you fellas do. Shout out to TVV. Shout out to Ohio. Shout out to Alicia Baumgartner. I'm out.
All right. Yeah, shout out to Alicia Baumgartner. J-Mac Boomerang.
Yo, give my call to Stonebo.
CYP Boomerang.
Yo. Let me run my shits back to back. I gotta go. The WWE is ran by Vince McMahon. The UFC is ran by Dana White. They have nobody to argue with. They have no toes to step on. They can do whatever the hell they want if they figure it's a good idea. See, the difference is boxing is Al Heyman, it's Eddie Hearn, it's Bob Arum, it's De La Hoya. It's a whole bunch of different entities running their businesses the way they want to, going head to head with each other. Unless you want to see one entity like the NBA or one entity like the NFL, then you will see individuals starring all over the place. Until then, it's not going to happen until they all get together and support one entity to run this shit totally. But I do understand where these dudes coming from, and good luck. I wish you all the future. And lastly, February, sad to say for people who love me on the show, love my callings, but February gonna be my last month. I cannot continue to argue with cats because I know Fury is going to lose, and once he loses, the same shit is gonna happen on the show every day. It's gonna be excuses, it's gonna be denial, it's gonna be arguing. I done enough arguing for fucking a year on this show. I'm good. February will be my last month. Y'all can cheer, praise. I love y'all for what y'all do, but this is my last month. It's Bomb Squad all day. CYP out.
My nigga retiring.
Yo, how you gonna retire when he win? Like, that's when you supposed to, like, that, like, if he win is on, you know what I'm saying?
Trying to be like Michael Jordan, you know what I'm saying?
Fade to black.
With the Bulls, with the last shot, you know what I'm saying? Go out like that.
Damn.
John Elway, you know what I'm saying?
Not me, bro. But, let me tell you something. Wilder win, they already know what the fuck it is.
It's gonna be a good night Saturday night.
The same way that I will, you know, one of our biggest immediate reactions outside of Canelo is the AJ video, because y'all knew what it was when he lost. Shocking. So if Wilder wins the way I want him to, dramatically, like knock his head off, bruh. That media reaction show gonna be like 5 hours long.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of. I told you, brother.
Nah, you know these UK dudes ain't even gonna call in though. They gonna be gone.
It's not gonna be the UK. It's gonna be a lot of Americans calling. I'm telling you, bro. Americans gonna be like, man, I told them niggas. But look, one thing that I wanted to say to CYP, like when the WWF was out, I mean, did they have like the WCW?
Yeah, they had all that.
WCW, a half star. They had Sting.
Yeah.
They had Diamond Dallas Page. They had motherfucking the Steve Nash, the big tall motherfucker. Like they had stars too. So it's not like
I don't know about stars though, cause like WCW.
Nigga, Diamond Dallas Page had his own little commercial. What you mean?
Oh, alright, cause I don't, like
nigga,
yo.
DDP. Come on, man. Don't disrespect Diamond Dallas Page like that, man. They had Sting too.
Yo, my era is like Jake the Snake Roberts,
like Mick Foley
Hogan, Mick Foley, Razor Ramon. You know, who else?
Robert Guerrero. That was my dude.
What
right
was
there,
my man named something the Kid and shit? Always kicking people. Somebody named, he was like Blank the Kid. His last name was the Kid.
Sweet Shit Music. You talking about Heartbreak Kid? Yeah, Sweet Shit Music. He kicked the shit out your ass in the
all
chin.
day. He be kicking people all day. Who else? What's my man that? Oh man, rest in peace. My man that came in through the thing and died. That was my man too. Heartbreak
Sting,
Kid.
man.
What was his name?
It was Sting. It was a couple of dudes that did that Ultimate Warrior.
Man, not Sting, man. I'm talking about it was
Ultimate
another one
Warrior?
like a Heartbreak Kid too. It was another one like that with hearts. Man, whatever. We getting off topic. Who else got a boomerang? Bomb Boxing.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels, man. Yo, you know who else, my man? Kurt Angle.
The gold medalist.
My man would put you in a motherfucking ankle lock. Yo, my man in the gymnasium right now.
Yeah. Playing volleyball.
There you go.
No, man, it's CYP. Why you gonna jump out before it's done? Come on now. You need to stick around, man.
No, not before it's done. He said February is last month, so you know the actual Sunday is his last day.
Yeah, 28th.
He gonna get his work.
No, 29th is leap year, Mike. Leap year, 29th.
29 days.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. But I'm gonna give you my prediction. I know we're gonna have another show before, but I got Wilder with the 8-round knockout. I think he's gonna be a lot more patient, man. Looking forward to it. I'm gonna get my ass back to work and try to hustle this cheddar, brother.
Bet.
We got a super chat coming in from Francisco. Vamos, Supernova, Dominican Power. I like that.
Plátano power, baby. Plátano power. Dominicans coming this year. All that shit I used to talk, we finally. But look, they relocating. You see, nobody live in DR and got a title. Like, you can't do that. You got to come over here, man. Most of them in Miami, Boston. Man, I can't believe Adamas shit the bed like that. But what's up? We'll see him bounce back.
Man. He'll be back.
Hopefully.
You gotta be. But that fight was a good ass fight. But that nigga Teixeira was just taking some shit that I wasn't expecting him to take. I'm like, shit. But we got one coming in from Alexander Wilson. Majority of Ric Flair's career was on what took place on WCW.
True. And Rick definitely crossed over. But see, I don't know when I knew Rick, because that's so many years ago. I don't know if I was watching WCW or I was watching WWF. But you know what other what other wrestler I remember, yo? And it's crazy he brought up wrestling. Yo, wrestling it's just been on TV forever.
Yeah.
But my man Lex Luger. Hey yo, Luger. That was my shit, yo. Let's see. Damn, we only got 2 super chats. All right, well, fuck y'all. Yo, that's it then. We got everybody on the boomerang. We got Sid. What a do?
What's going on, Majid?
Yo, that's crazy.
Yep.
We hear you, Champ.
Yeah, I got I'm like, everybody needs to like the video or whatever. And I know you don't like this, Ness, but it's UK versus USA. That shit we about to have another episode Saturday night. Hey, UK, y'all need to stay up and watch this shit, because we ain't watching that Pulev bullshit. And it's USA in this bitch, Bomb Squad. That's all I got.
All right. Yeah, man, we still looking for a UK host that's tough-skinned, man. You know what I mean? Someone to get in the middle of me and Mike, man. I know they got a UK versus US over here, man, but we still want another voice. But yeah, man, that's everybody. CYP went double, so we good. Trey's just listening. Oh, we got Stonebone on J Max Boomerang. Oh, and JT, my bad. Was Stonebone, go with the boomerang.
What up? What up? Yeah, man. Yeah, that was a good interview with him earlier too, man. I'm glad he speaking proudly of his African roots, man. That's something that's gonna carry him in the long run, man. That fucked all that European type shit, man. You know your African roots, and that's why you in there kicking ass. So keep kicking ass, and he might end up at the where Stainless was at, man. He might end up at the DR party, man. You never know. He might pull up or boat up. You know what I mean? He might ride the boat over there. And Mike, you know that a 15-minute flight or a 30-minute drive take an hour and a half on the water. You know that, Mike. You from down there in Arkansas. You done hit the coast a little bit or something. And all I was saying about the smaller venues, man, we need it. It just just think if you Jay Prince, wouldn't you be like, all right, or if you even if you was a Bob Arum, you'd be like, instead of putting my 2-0 prospect on a card where nobody see it when the venue is empty, wouldn't you just be like, all right, he can go to Impact and fight on the televised version of it?
Nah,
So
Bob ain't doing that no more, champ. Bob, look, he about to have a card in Miami and in Puerto Rico. They televising
no,
everything now.
I'm not saying Bob, for instance. I'm just saying as a promoter that's don't have the dates and don't got the you fighting for dates. If he ain't got ESPN day, he got an ESPN Plus day. You know what I mean? He can whatever day he want to put it on, it can be aired. So he's not the one that's hurting for dates. I'm talking about the promoters who need those venues for those guys, because guys gonna be looking at it like, why would I sign with you at 2-3-0 when I could just go fight on fucking Impact?
Cut it. So interesting that you come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, with that comment. Come on. That was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. You know, we're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it? I'll kill this mother. Why do you have to talk like that? Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yeah, what's up, Ness? You almost forgot about me then, man.
Almost, man.
Well, what's up, Mike?
Never leave nobody behind.
Was
Right.
good.
That's what I'm saying. Don't leave me behind. Don't leave the champ behind. But nah, bro. But good interviews and stuff like that as usual. You know, I got my prediction. Deontay Wilder go knock him out in the 7th round. Go catch him. And besides that, you know, that's all. Just hit the thumbs up. Shout out to TVV. I mean, that's all I got.
Yo, I'm so nervous. Can he get that knockout, man? Like, I really want that knockout, bruh. And you know, Fury took them punches pretty well, man. But that's everybody. Want to thank everybody for joining in. Hopefully we can hammer Charles Martin down this afternoon, maybe. I don't think we have anything scheduled for evening time just yet. Nope. But we're gonna see, could we get that Charles Martin back? You know, it was fighter arrival yesterday, so he was part of those big festivities for his big fight with Joe Washington. Hopefully he can find some time for us and we get him on. Want to thank Steven Marcano and Abraham Supernova. And want to thank everybody that tuned in. If you're just watching this, if future, present, past, hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show, helps us grow, and it's going to one day help us get that AJ interview you want. And Canelo. Peace.
1911. On Twitter at Gross2312. I think today is the media workout, so we'll be on the lookout for that.
Undercard only.
Oh, so are they gonna do the main press conference thing?
Nah, they ain't showing off no more. It's just undercard, get the shine for the night.
All right.
But that's good, because the undercard, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people on there.
And big ups to everybody out there in the chat, man. We appreciate you guys watching, and big ups to everybody out there listening. We appreciate you guys listening. Till next time.
All right, peace.